to paint an entire Eldar army in 3 days. We're teaming up with the Army Painter to use their brand new speed paint to showcase 3,000 points of Craft World Eldar. This is going to be one of the hardest paint challenges I've ever attempted. There's going to be blood, sweat, and tears, but at the end of it, hopefully there's going to be an Eldar army. Join us live on our YouTube channel from Friday to Sunday as I complete this monumental task. Hello everyone, welcome to another paint stream. I'm John Lennon. This is Chris Frost, Frosty Forge. We are here for another hangout and hobby. Welcome, thank you for joining me. Let's get you your own camera.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Fancy.
You have your camera now.
There we go.
Hello everyone. Bum 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 bum
excited.
bum 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 bum.
All right, I'm done.
We have the new Craft World Eldar Codex. We are painting a ton of new Craft World Eldar. Hello everyone. Welcome aboard. If any of you perhaps are joining me from yesterday, you'd remember that I'm trying to paint an entire army in 3 days. An entire Craft World Eldar army. I think the first day went pretty well.
I think it did really well. I am very impressed with this new speed paint.
Yeah, speed paint. That's the secret sauce right there. So we've teamed up with the Army Painter. They are absolutely wonderful. And they've supplied us with a new speed paint line. And I've been using it to paint up a 3,000 point Eldar army. We're deep in,
getting it,
and we are not done or even close to it. But I said I would do it in 3 days. I've only got 1 day done, so I get to do this like 2 more times, and then we're good.
Piece of cake.
Exactly. Easy. So I'm hanging out with Frosty Boy here. What's up, Michaela H in the chat? What's up, John Chaves? Top 10 relic pistols when? John Chaves, you know the answer, but you know what? I appreciate that you keep asking. April 1st, top 10 relic pistols, no doubt.
Got to get Adam Camilleri on to do that.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll bring him in, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Top 10 relic pistols.
Yeah. He loves relic pistols from
I love relic pistols too. All right, everyone. So this is it. We're beginning the marathon. Perhaps you're noticing that we're starting a little late. I blame Nick Nonvati for that. He had his own personal Eldar party. If you missed it, that was earlier this morning.
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
watching it live, and now I'm here painting. So
God bless you.
I am all excited about the new Eldar.
Absolutely, and that is of course because courtesy of Games Workshop, we have the brand new Craft World Eldar Codex in our possession. It's here. It's literally right here. We've already done our review video. If maybe whenever you're done watching this paint stream in like 8 hours, go check it out. Nick Nonvati went ahead and did a live review earlier this morning on the new Eldar book. It's really exciting. We also, however, gotta call it out, also have some new models. That I wasn't showing off yesterday. But we've got, for example, the new Maghan Ra. We also have the new Warlocks, Dark Reapers, some Guardians. Lots of exciting stuff to work on. So I'm really hyped for that. We're going to be painting Eldar all darn day.
And tomorrow.
And honestly, it's probably after that too, but we're going to have an army done after 3 days. And then after 3 days, it's like, all right, let's add some more units to the army. Yeah. But we're going to have a army at the end of this weekend.
Might not be good.
No,
it's going to be an army.
It'll be good. We got the speed paints. The speed paints are going to help make this good.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm looking at these Rangers because you're painting Rangers, I'm painting Rangers.
Yours are already looking better than mine.
I need to decide how I want to do these cloaks. Here's 9 of them. There's a 10th Ranger.
Those are the Shroud Runners.
Is he safe? Is he all right? Is he on the stream table?
He's being super sneaky.
Yeah, he is camo cloaked up.
Passed his stealth check for sure.
Oh, here it is. See, I was looking for him because he was the one who I painted the camo cloak on.
Oh, there you go.
And literally disappeared.
Perfect.
I was actually going to ask because this is like a super simple camo cloak.
Okay.
And all it was like me doing the blotches and then a speed paint over it. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not like 100% sold on it, but also it was really fast.
Maybe one more layer of the speed paint?
One more?
Over it? Let's see if we can get a little bit better.
It'd be... We gotta hold it up here. So one of the problems, of course, is that you notice that the shade of green I did. Yeah. Look at the wall behind you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, that just makes them blend in extra well.
Exactly. This camo cloak. This guy's got invisible feet and shoulder pads.
There you go.
So we'll see. Not bad for a very quick camo cloak. Haven't really decided what I want to do with that yet.
A whole lot quicker than the way I'm going.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Hold on. Which one of these can I look at?
I'm trying to think which one actually came out decently.
Oh wow, they've already been painted.
Looking good.
So nice blends on that.
Airbrushed.
Yeah, mine's definitely faster than that.
That was 5 minutes to do all 5.
Oh, okay.
So,
you know what? Honestly, not really. Then.
It's
I talked shade for no reason.
The old was it dryer sheet?
Oh, of course.
Just use dryer sheet, tear it apart a little bit, airbrush through it.
Frosty loves having like all these little airbrush tricks.
I got to paint a model somehow. I mean, it's either that or I take 6 years. So.
We've seen it before. Dun dun dun. Hope everyone is doing well this wonderful morning. I know that I am. You know what? Not even feeling burnt out. Which Nick was like, oh yeah, after like the first day, you're just gonna like never want to paint again. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stay strong. We're gonna keep going.
No, you can do it.
Totally do it.
Piece of cake.
Dun, 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 dun. If anyone, by the way, is curious about the newer Eldar rules, we are allowed to talk about them now.
Yes, we are. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, Chris hasn't read them before today, because we're mean. We didn't share with him, but now I'll share.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
they were terrible friends and actually kept to their NDAs. I'm mad at them for being good business people.
Yeah, too much on the line there.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, I think I'm just gonna start off by doing a little speed paint, getting some black going on. I think these striking scorpions need some more color, and by color I mean black, but you know that's a color still.
Hey.
Trying to think like where I should put, because striking scorpions have like some yellow mixed into their dreadlocks, right? Like that's like a thing that they do sometimes.
I believe so.
I also like yellow. I think yellow and green look really good together, especially on a football jersey.
Yeah, but then they don't win as much.
You know, they win a lot early. Like all I'm saying is that these green and yellow like striking scorpions are definitely going to make the top 8.
That's fair.
They're not going to make top 4.
We're not sure.
They're going to lose in the first round.
We're not sure top 8 of what, but top 8 is something.
Top 8 is something. All right. We'll find an 8-man RTT. Don't worry.
There you go. I'll take them to that.
Heck yeah.
I can guarantee top 8 there.
All right. I'm literally just going to look it up on the GW website.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Strike scorpions.
What do we got? That is...
No. They put yellow. So there's like a little bit of gold on the dreadlocks, and then there's like yellow on like all the little bands. Okay.
Ooh. Enjoy.
Okay, we can work with it.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, I can do this.
Wait,
all right.
I've seen worse.
Exactly. All right, but we're going to start by just putting the black coat on the chainswords. Just as long as I'm using speed paints. And every like big surface on a model is getting speed paint.
Yeah.
I think like the gold, there isn't a gold speed paint. So the gold I'm going to have to go back with a normal brush the old-fashioned way.
Oh, darn.
That is all right. I mean, if they ever did a gold speed paint that works. Oof.
That would be sexy.
Early days, still lots to explore yet. What's the hot take ranking between all the different types of armies? So Crafted World Eldar and Quins, Inari and Quins, Dark Eldar Quins, Mono Quins. All right, so we're gonna do a very, very quick power ranking on that. Number 1, Craft World and Quins. Number 2, Dark Eldar and Quins. Number 3, Mono Quins. Number 4, Mono Craft World Eldar. Number 5, Inari and Quins. Number 6, Inari. That's the power ranking. You'll notice I put Inari as the bottom 2 because I don't think that this is the book for Inari to come back and ruin the game.
No.
And they look fun.
They're paying for their sins of...
Yeah, and you know what? They've got another edition to go before I'm willing to forgive them. Like, in the 10th edition Craft World Codex, I'll be like, oh, good, Inari, you're still bad. 11th edition, I'm willing to consider people saying, like, I think Inari need good rules. In 11th edition, I'm willing to hear it.
Do they, though? How many editions have they had now of being...
I mean, they were only really broken in 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
So they weren't broken in 9th yet. I don't think they'll be broken in 10th. So they had 2 editions on, they need 2 editions off.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then we can come back to it.
They'll be fun. They'll have some jank. But...
Green and yellow is going to be real bad next year if they lose their Supreme Commander. You're not wrong, DPZ. You are factually correct. I'm just kind of nervously waiting and like, we'll see what happens. Nothing I can do about it. So we'll just see what the offseason holds for my beloved Green Bay Packers. I like that there's literally a scorpion on the base of the Exarch, which I didn't even notice until I started painting. There's like, look at like right by his foot.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's like a tiny little scorpion. I'm like, what do I do with you?
Yeah.
Speed paint. Silly little guy, speed paint. You're genuinely correct. That is exactly what I'm going to do to him. Speed paint. Just putting black. I think the dreadlocks I'm actually doing like a darker gray. I don't think they're going to be straight black.
Okay.
And like all the beads like on the that'll be good.
Yeah.
All right. So that.
Do you have any of the yellow speed paint?
I do. I haven't used any of it yet, but okay. I have every speed paint.
Yeah, because I think each of the little
like
beads down the middle there
Yeah, that in yellow and then
will
gray.
be yellow and then gray on the rest.
Yep, that was what I was looking to do. And then I'll come back and do some gold detailing on like the Manda Blasters and some of the symbols, and then like some yellow stripes and stuff. I think that'll be a nice, good tabletop standard after I put some red on the Spirit Stones. I need to figure out like a good method for painting Spirit Stones. This is one of the reasons why we brought Mr. Frosty Forge on with us, because he's better at this than I am. Frosty always gives me like helpful tips of like, here's how to do it and make it not look terrible. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Because he knows what would happen if I was left unsupervised.
Step 1, get good.
Get good.
So Spirit Stones are actually one of the... they're interesting. So there's 3 or 4 different ways you can do them. The way I actually do them on basic infantry is the GW Gemstone paints, the technical ones.
Yeah.
So I'll do a silver base coat, a little like daub of light silver on one end, and then you just swipe a little dab of the technical paint over it. Done. And I actually wonder if you could do something similar with the speed paints. If you had like a red or a blue over a silver base.
That'd be an interesting thing to try, actually.
That'd be a fun experiment.
Get like a nice like light bright silver with
do like the
over
mithril silver?
Yeah.
Or mithril ring, whatever it is.
I forget the name, but I know the one you're talking about. We have all of the silvers for Army Painter, so
the brightest.
Maybe that is something that we will experiment with in a little bit. I'm gonna get this coat done before we do that, but I've got plenty of vehicles to work on as well. For everyone who noticed, yesterday was an all infantry day. I promised that there would be airbrushing. I really did, and there was. It just wasn't on stream because that's how the stream's gonna work. But did a lot of painting yesterday after the stream ended. Some nice airbrushing. Very happy with how the green on the vehicles went. I painted 6 vehicle hulls in their turrets yesterday. I got like all the green coats done. I'm pretty happy with how it's looking.
How long did that take you?
Maybe, I mean, there were steps in between. Like actual time, probably about 45 minutes.
That's not bad.
Maybe a little more. I did the washes by hand.
Okay.
So that took a little longer. Like I totally could have washed with the airbrush, but I was like, I'll just do it by hand because I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just did. I don't know, like whenever I like washed a whole thing, I like to airbrush, but whenever I'm like doing like the cracks, I always do that by hand.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, unless you do like a gloss coat and a pin wash and a oil wash.
Yeah, I didn't have that ready. I was just like, we're just gonna use Army Painter Strong Tone and do it.
There you go.
DPZ wants to see the Packers Supreme Commander end up as a normal commander. DPZ disappointing. Disappointing. Wants him wearing red and burgundy. Get out of here.
I mean, that would fix something. I'm not sure what, but it would fix something.
I mean, I'm sure it would make them feel better. Maybe they'd make the playoffs for once. What do we think of Jack's towel list? I saw you took Shadow Sun. Did he bring her just for Chapter Master rerolls on a large crisis, Bob? DPZ, that is exactly why he brought Shadow Sun. But she is really good at that exact thing. I think Shadow Sun's worth it. We had an interesting thing where, if you've been looking at Richard's lists, it's no secret that Jack's list is inspired by Richard.
We all are inspired by Richard.
I am demotivated by Richard. That's why I'm not going to tournaments anymore.
Yeah, I just picked the ones he's not at.
There you go. I should have gone this weekend. But jokes aside, his list was very inspired by Richard. The main difference was that he liked Shadow Sun and Richard, but like, you don't need Shadow Sun. I'll just take another three man like Crisis Suit, with airburst instead, just another cheap 3-man at the same cost. And Jack was like looking at me, he's like, I'm not crazy, right? Like the reroll the hits is good. And I was looking at it, and honestly, I was kind of with Jack. I was like, you know what? If you just told me those 2 choices without knowing what Richard preferred, I would have said Shadow Sun as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the rest of us roll 2s.
I roll 1s. So.
1s are fine. You reroll 1s.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
But like Richard doesn't roll 2s.
No, he doesn't.
Like
unless he's hitting on 2s.
Yeah.
Then he rolls 2s.
Or he has a 2-up save on like his entire AdMech army every turn somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know how he does that.
Yeah.
Wizardry. So I'm with Jack on the Shadow Sun, honestly. We'll see how he does this weekend. He's 3-0 at the Cherokee Open. It's a great start. And he's currently in first place, scoring really well. Cherokee Open, it looks like they're going to cut to a top 6, or top 8, I should say. And it looks like there's going to be a couple of 5-1s. So obviously, if Jack wins his 3 games today, then he's golden. He's going to make the top 8, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But even if he goes 5-1, since he's first in points right now, if he scores decent in his 2 wins, I think he's still got top 8.
Oh, absolutely.
And at that point, it's, how does he do in the top 8? What are the matchups like? That's really the question.
He's put up 200 point wins already?
I think he had like a 100 and like a 97 or something.
Okay.
Like,
close enough.
Definitely has had 2 real high scoring games. Dun dun dun. Striking Scorpion. I always call them Shining Scorpions, and then I like autocorrect. I'm like, oh, I mean striking. I don't know, just Shining Scorpion sounds like it'd be a cool aspect, right?
And then Striking Spears.
Striking Spears, like they
Yeah.
both work both ways. If I'm being real. All right. Ben Van Atta is asking, what is the key difference between speed paint and contrast? Okay, so if I were to make a comparison, you remember how when contrast came out, we were like, before we had the bottles in our hands, we had all these pictures of like a Space Marine primed with like contrast over it.
Yep.
And it was like, oh, this is what, speed paint looks like. Or this is what contrast looks like. And it was like very smooth looking. And then like when you actually get it and you like you put it on, like sometimes it'd be like streaky.
Yep.
And it was like, it would like pool in weird spots, and like even like on anything that was a flat surface at all,
it
would immediately go bad.
Yep.
The biggest thing for me is that I think speed paint looks a lot smoother on a flat surface.
Yes.
That's like the big thing I've noticed.
Yep.
Is when there's a flat surface, contrast on anything with like a lot of breakup, like a lot of detail in it. Contrast does look really good.
Oh, it does.
I'm not knocking contrast at all. I use contrast a lot. I use it on my Space Marines, but on my Space Marines, I would often like find a flat surface, and if I was like doing a lot at once, and I like kind of looked at it when it dried, I'd be like, oh shoot, I messed this up.
Yep.
And I'd like have to go back over it, or like I would.
And
like,
you really can't go back over it.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Over a second time, it Ruined.
Yeah.
Well, not ruined, but it's much harder.
It's difficult to do. So it's very hard to fix. So sometimes I'd like take like the rubbing alcohol and the Q-tip and like try to get it off, and that got a little frustrating sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And so on Space Marines, I'd be very careful with how I did my contrast, because it ended up like not really saving me that much time.
No.
Which was the whole point.
Yep.
Speed paint so far on a flat surface has been very smooth.
Yep.
And that has been something I really like. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll be posting a lot of pictures when we're done here of what I think that's going to be like, but I'm a fan.
From what I can see, it really adds it looks like the 3-step process.
Exactly.
That contrast never really did. It would give you a good color and then a bit of the wash to it, or the highlight. You can never really get all 3 without even more work.
Yeah.
This just pops.
Yeah.
You have your darker spots in the recesses, you have your good color
your lighter
on the
edges.
panels, and then your edges are lighter. Done.
And what Adam recommended to me, and I haven't actually done this yet, but on all these models, but what Adam recommended to me was that I do the Zenithal method, which is you prime it black, like entirely, like whole thing black, and then you prime it white, but maybe a little more loose, mostly from the top down.
Yep.
So you get a lot of shadows underneath, like pouches and like in natural areas, and then I've done all that and everything. And his recommendation was then like get like a large dry brush and just do a light white dry brush on the entire model.
Okay.
And then you do the speed paint. I honestly skipped that third step because I forgot. And then like once I started doing it, I'm like, oh, I forgot to do this. Whatever, we're just gonna go.
But really, I mean, you can't even tell.
Yeah. So like I'm thinking that I might try to do that in the future, and we'll see if that adds even more highlight.
Yeah.
Because so far, I like speed paint a lot. I like the lighter colors from speed paint a lot so far. The dark ones are good, but the light ones have like really showed out like the depth. Like so far, I've done like the dark green and the light green. I like the light green more. Like the dark green here.
Yep.
Looks pretty good.
It does.
It's nice and even, but I think it doesn't quite pop the way that the light green does.
No, definitely not. Where was that one? Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Like you can even see them like right next to each other.
Yep.
Like there's a difference.
Oh yeah.
So
Put that.
it's green.
You can't see.
It's green.
Oh, that's right. Green screen. Yeah, that's a problem.
What do you think the next guard codex supplement should be? I want to see codex supplement for heretics, renegades, brood brothers, and Guavesa. All right, so John Chaves, I would literally love to see a brood brothers codex supplement for Imperial Guard, because brood brothers, as they are just so lazy and disappointing.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Replace keyword with brood brother.
and then like replace regiment trait with literally nothing.
Yeah.
It's like +2 leadership, which is just weird in all of the insulting ways, because like now brood brothers are higher leadership than Genestealer cult. I'm like, why?
They're actually trained.
Like an acolyte hybrid is not as brave as a freaking guardsman who's just like saw a patriarch and was like, ooh la la. Are you kidding me?
Apparently not.
It upsets me. And it's also like that it's on everything. So it's like, oh, my Lehman Russ went +2 leadership.
Woo.
Great. Glad I gave up reroll shots and hits for this. Like,
yeah.
Ugh. Now, Brood Brothers Codex supplement would be my number 1. Number 2, I actually want Renegades and Heretics to get their own thing. Yo, what's up, Fat Dingo? Welcome to Mr. Richard Hughes. But what I really want is an Armageddon Steel Legion supplement.
Ooh,
I feel like GW still hasn't properly capitalized on the plastic Gazco model and like the Armageddon like story. Because all right, here's my thing. So Armageddon was like I think is the most iconic campaign GW has ever released.
Oh, absolutely.
And awesome world, includes a bunch of races, and they keep building it up. So like at like the beginning of 9th edition, they were like, oh, by the way, Angron's back. He's on Armageddon. Yep. And like for like so many past editions, it was like Armageddon. Like I feel like with Angron on Armageddon, they're like, this is the perfect opportunity for them to do like a campaign series with Space Marines and Guard and Orks and like World Eaters.
Oh yeah.
And they just aren't doing it. Mm-hmm. Like they're like, oh, what if we did Vigilus a second time? I'm like, stop giving me Vigilus.
Just give us Armageddon.
It's like, hey, Daddy Games Workshop, can we have campaign supplement? We have campaign supplement at home. It's Vigilus. Like, God, stop.
Why?
So I really want them to go back to Armageddon. Give us that plastic Angron that Mark has been talking about in his sleep.
He does.
He literally does. Not a doubt in my mind.
Yep.
And then give me a plastic Steel Legion. Honestly, I'm actually fine with the plastic Death Corps of Krieg. Literally, I'll just paint those in Steel Legion colors. Yeah, give me the Steel Legion supplement. I'm good to go.
Give me a upgrade sprue or something.
Upgrade sprue
for the Death Corps to make them.
I really want even that would work. Honestly, they're close enough that I'll just totally paint them Steel Legion. Call it enough. Oh, yeah. What I really want is a vehicle upgrade sprue.
Yes.
So like you can do like you can get like the track guards and like some like the iconic like Death Corps like war gear, just for aesthetics, and then you can like do like the commanders and like a little bit of extra stuff and like some iconography. That's all Death Corps. That's what I want.
Yep, that would be perfect.
Mm-hmm. And like you could even like the upgrade sprue could like have legs on it as well, so you can do either build a company commander or build a tank commander.
Yep.
Like that'd be so like it's right there, Games Workshop, and like I'm sure. Since we have heard literally nothing about a Guard Codex, I'm sure that they're building up for something special, but
or they just forgot
about Guard.
That's always a possibility.
You never really know what you're getting. You're really never sure what you're getting.
You roll your dice and hope you don't roll a 1.
Oh, Guard keep rolling ones.
And no ways to re-roll it.
Oh, Kachi says I find it hard to play against my Tau friend. We're only casual. I'm aware that I can be the better player, but the natural power Tau brings makes it hard to play against them with Orks. Kachi, the Orc versus Tau matchup, that's a scary one.
I feel your pain.
I really, What kind of Tau do they play? Like what sept? And what kind of Orcs do you play? I don't think it's like completely hopeless, but I'm with you. It doesn't seem to lend itself to having fun times.
I wouldn't say completely. I would just say 95% hopeless.
It's definitely not completely hopeless. John Chafe says Yarrick should become a Dreadnought. It's the only way I can think of to make him able to go toe-to-toe against a war boss on the table. I mean, no, honestly, no, Yarrick should have the, he should be a Phoenix Lord. He should be 6 wounds, can only take 3 a turn. And he doesn't get up on death, but Yarrick is just too stubborn to die.
Yeah.
Like, literally give him the rule, too stubborn to die. 6 wounds can take 3 a turn.
Yep.
It mirrors Gazcool.
4 up, feel no pain against Orks. Because they believe...
4 rerolls to wound against Orks. Give me more.
Hey, they believe he can't die, so...
Orcs are -1 to wound against Yarrick because they don't think they can kill him.
There you
go. I'm not messing with Yarrick. You kidding me? Like, I'm not even gonna try.
I'm not swinging against that guy. Why?
That old Baelai, he's a scary guy. Honestly, like, the Warhammer Plus skit or animation thing that they did with Yarrick was still, like, so... I really like this story, but where the Orcs are like, you kidding me? Like, this is Yarrick. Like, bro, like, I'll fight, like, 50 Space Marines, but Yarrick? I'm out of here.
No.
And like the one like there's like the old like cranky orc is like yelling at the 2 youngins, and he's like, I once fought Yarrick. He kicked my ass and cut my leg off. And they're like, oh my god, you fought Yarrick? And they're like terrified of this guy who got his ass kicked by Yarrick. I'm like man, Orcs. Sorry, I have the old metal crab claw Yarrick. Oh. I'm like waiting. One of these days we're gonna paint him up.
That would be awesome.
But honestly, I would love a plastic Yarrick model that's like. I don't think we're going to get one anytime soon, But I would love a plastic Yarrick model that's like ready to kill. But you know, if they do an Armageddon thing, like Yarrick would make so much sense.
We'll probably end up getting like a Son of Yarrick or something.
Nah. Yarrick doesn't die.
Ever
die. Yarrick cannot die.
Even though it's been, like 200 years or
He is way too stubborn to die. The Orks think he can't die, so he's like, alright. Like, why would I stop, right?
Yeah.
My first ever 500-point escalation league kicks off today. Good luck, Inception. Ooh. Oh, my first time playing. Quick question, is Fusion or Plasma better on Crisis Suits? Plasma is my vote, Inception, unless you can get your hands on some Cyclic Ion Blasters, because that's even scarier. But Plasma versus Fusion, I'm going to vote Plasma all day, every day. Absolutely. I really like the long range. Dun dun dun. Alrighty. He plays watered down Metatau, so with Fire Warriors, a Devilfish with Breachers, 1 blob Crisis Suits, 1 blob Broadsides, and the occasional Piranha, and Kaji's playing the Goth Pressure. Ooh, that is Goth Pressure. I love that list so much, I do hate that it forces you to get close to the Tau, and Tau is like, if you step within 18 inches of me, you die.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
You either have to be 19 inches or 0 inches.
Maybe try, like, if you've got, like, truck units, like truck boys and some fast mobile elements to apply pressure, maybe try, like, hanging back a turn out of line of sight if you can, and then trying to pressure one flank all at once. Because if you just run straight at the Tau army, that's bad for your health.
Yeah.
Maybe try to find, like, a way to, like, hit one flank over the other. You know, use some terrain to your advantage, try to, like, just not get shot by the entire army. Because honestly, if you could tell me that 12, like in 2,000 point game, if you could tell me that 1,200 points of Orks charges the Tau after 800 points dies, I think that's enough to like still win that battle. Like if I like made the push and lost about 800 points and then the next 1,200 just connected, might still think you got a shot.
Yeah.
Like that's about the ratio.
Because Breachers and Fire Warriors will just go away.
Will just evaporate.
And then all your suits are tied up. And
then they have to shoot what they're engaged with, and then they're not going to get it to target like characters and valuable units that are killing what they touch.
Yeah.
Like I could see some things working.
It would be interesting, but
and I ain't saying it's easy, but Fat Dingo asks who's getting the chaos side to paint. Oh, Fat Dingo, that is also me. We're going to see how this Eldar army goes, but there is a not zero chance that at some point in the future I do this exact same thing for an Iron Warriors army. Ooh. You know, Frosty Forge knows I've been talking about Iron Warriors for as long as he's known me.
Yep.
And I just like haven't actually I've painted one Iron Warrior in that time.
Did you paint that many?
I did paint one, yeah. He's on the shelf over there. I painted one. Okay. It's the Blackstone Fortress guy. I was like, I have a spare Chaos Space Marine. Let me just like paint him real quick. And I was like, sure, you can be an Iron Warrior. And you know what? I like Iron Warriors a lot. And if this new Chaos book comes out, first of all, GW, please give me Legion supplements. I know they're probably not going to because it's Chaos, but like one day.
No one cares about you.
Oh, man has dirty luck. He just tried to stall for a turn, but still got wiped after. Dang, catchy.
Oof.
Buy your friend, give your friend your dice and then take their dice.
Yeah.
Loot the dice.
There you go.
welcome to Gix 12709. Thank you so much for joining the Art of War channel.
Welcome. You picked a good channel.
Indeed, the best. Perhaps even the best. Oh man, I hate when I'm like painting something and I like see the spot that I just completely missed. Like this, look at this Exarch. I just didn't paint his hand.
Oh, good
like his entire right arm.
Yep.
This guy's just not done. All right, we're gonna have to come back to this guy. Whoopsie.
You need some love.
You know what? I'm literally shocked that I've not yet had people be like, "Hey, John, read me the rules from the other codex."
I am very shocked.
I was like really thinking that was what it was gonna be.
Maybe all these people were actually up at 5 a.m. like I was, listening to Nick's.
That's just crazy. I couldn't do it. You know, I think everyone's like watching Nick's review right now.
Probably.
They're like, I'm just gonna watch Nick's review and I'll sign on with John when I'm done.
Yeah,
I think that's what's happening.
We're second best.
I get it, but like we have the other codex right here, and we're live, and we're not Nick. Like we got so much going for us here.
We have more coffee in our system than Nick.
Indeed, and I've got Frosty Forge with me.
Yeah, we're not sure what that adds to the table, but I'm here.
One model a day.
Yeah, exactly. If we're lucky.
On a good day.
Hey.
Maybe on a weekend. Model a weekend.
My goal is my Eldar can be painted twice as fast as my Space Wolves. So it'll only take me 9 months instead of a year and a half.
Attaboy. You're almost there. 9 months. I might be able to. If you're not done by Crucible, I got a chance.
Oh no. No. I gotta defend my title.
You know, I stopped defending my title. You can do it too.
No. You won it a lot more times.
That's fair. You got a couple.
Went, what? 4 times? 5 times?
3 in a row.
3 in a row. Yeah. So I got 2 more times. Then I'll let you.
Can you let me have it?
So 2026 will be your year.
Oh, that hurts. I don't like that.
Hey, by 2026 you'll be a good painter, right?
Spence M says, "Hey John, can you read the fluff word for word for me?" Spence M, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's gonna need to be a pretty hefty super chat for me to read the lore out loud on this channel. I ain't saying no, but I ain't doing that for free. I am gonna read the lore. I actually really like reading the lore of new codexes to see what they change. Although normally it's nothing, but I do enjoy the lore quite a bit. However, first we paint.
Yep.
Saying about, can John read the Eldar Codex in 3 days? This is, can John paint the Eldar army? Fate's Day Dreamer is so sad about Inari. I think the Inari rules are cool. I just think that when you compare them to running craft worlds, it's pretty hard to justify.
Yeah. I think they definitely have some tricks. Unfortunately, I don't know. So I need to listen to them at not 6 o'clock in the morning.
One of the things is that like it feels like Inari lost options because they went from having like kind of a supplement to they have one relic, one stratagem, and they get all the Eldar stuff, and I think they get access to the Eldar relics now, so like they still have access to relics, but like now it's less unique, so it's like okay, there's less different things to manipulate. Now it's literally, do you want the one relic, which is fine, but not like amazing. Yeah. And then
Guard would kill to have it.
Sure. Guard would kill to have anything at this point. Also weird enough that Inari didn't get their own secondaries, as far as I could tell.
I was
There's Harlequin secondaries and there's Eldar secondaries, and there's not Inari secondaries.
I'm not sure.
And now I'm like looking like, do you count as pure craft world for secondaries if you've got Inari? Yeah. What if you do the Drukari mix thing? Do you not get any secondaries?
Yeah. And
like that's just a little weird.
I don't know.
I need to like sit down and read it in detail with that in mind to really know for sure, but it's just interesting stuff. Yeah, I think Inari is definitely the biggest miss of the 3 factions, whereas I think Eldar are quite good, but might take a little bit of time to figure out. But there's a lot of potential in there.
Oh, yes.
I've seen a lot of the early takes from other people who got a preview copy was that Eldar is hard to build a list for. Yep. And I agree with that. I'm really not sure what I would want a craft world army to look like right now, but there's a lot of individual elements in there where I'm like, oh, that is good. This is good. Which makes me think that there will be a way to put it all together once you've gotten some experience with how the book plays.
I'm just going to run 30 Howling Banshees at people.
Yeah. Fate's Day Dreamer, it's literally, Inari is just like a craft world subfaction. Yep. Like they honestly could have just gotten a page like Beeltan and Samhan, and then said, by the way, these characters have Inari. Yeah. And it's like, you know what?
You can mix in
Harlequins and
Harlequins and Dark Eldar. And you can already mix in Harlequins, but...
Yeah. But you can do... I think you can actually mix detachments again. But it's like totally fine. But it's not inspiring. And, you know, if you were to just say, all right, there's 6 craft rules instead of 5, and one of them is called Inari, like, Inari would probably be like the 4th best.
Probably, yeah.
Like, I think there's at least 3 craft rules better than. You lose everything if you mix Drukari or Harlequins. Woof. Oh, you know. Oh, poor Inari. Ooh. Catchy says, I'd really love to dive into the Genestealer cult. Already got a 4K Imperial Guard army. Might as well have some fun with Brood Brothers. Catchy, that is exactly how I ended up with the Guard army. I was like, oh, well, I already have a Genestealer cult army. I might as well mess with Brood Brothers. So I did, and now I just kind of have a Guard army, and all of a sudden I'm a Guard player. Just sneaks up on you like that. What's up, Nick Nanavati? You joined the party?
It's time to party. How's everybody?
We're doing great. We are painting. We are having fun. Speed painting?
Good. I'm happy to hear it. Everyone should have fun speed painting. They're very fun.
You should come speed paint.
I will one day.
How was your review this morning?
My review was good. It was excellent. It was long. It was 5 a.m. Puppies were everywhere, in and out. It was a journey. Me and the chat had a wonderful time.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed every minute of it.
That's great.
What did you think about it, Nick?
The Eldar Codex? Yeah, there's so much to it. Holy crap.
There's a lot in the book.
Usually I can read a book and then maybe I don't know the whole thing 100%, but I got a good grasp of like what's good, what's bad, what most things do. There's so much depth to it. Like this is going to take multiple read-throughs, like many games.
A lot of games.
Very excited for it. There's so many combos. Like
so you don't think Brad is going to figure it out in time?
I mean, he might figure something out in time, not the only thing out in time, but there's so many things to figure out. So he's just got to pick one and go for it.
I'm just impressed you said you were going to read a Codex twice.
You know, I've read GSC 3 times and look where it's got me. I even beat Siegs' Tau. Dreams do come true.
Dreams do come true. Awesome.
Yeah, how's the painting going?
Painting is going real well. We are painting so fast. Nick, how would you compare my progress? Like in
what?
To
mine.
Army in 3 days.
Well, you painted some models. It's been some days.
Okay.
So that's pretty similar.
All right. Basically the same thing. I like it.
Basically the same thing.
So what we need now is a picture at the end of your 3-day Harlequin army against his 3-day craft world army.
We can do that. We can talk about how I didn't use the Army Painter speed paints and John did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, makes all the difference. These speed paints speed everything up.
And their paint.
Could they speed up Frosty? I don't know.
Probably.
That's something different.
I think they could.
I think so.
I came in here with specific purposes, Mr. Lennon.
Oh yeah, what's up?
I wanted to ask if you recorded your video for our Streamhouse RTT. Woo woo!
Oh no, I didn't.
Shame.
Let's make sure we do that in the next very soon because we got to get to Martin like yesterday.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. I just talked to him.
Perfect. Yep, I will get that done quickly. And that Streamhouse RTT is coming up this week, right? So starting on Wednesday?
Starting on Wednesday. So we're getting all these different Art of War coaches. We got me and John and Siegs and Mark and Jack and Chester and Blake and Quentin all coming in. They're flying in. They're getting over here. And we're going to play 8 different factions, including our brand new friends, the Eldar. And we're going to play in a bracket-style single elimination tournament to crown the third, really just me again, Streamhouse champion.
I don't know. My money's on Siegs.
Everyone's money's on Siegs. You know, you way to pick on the winning horse over here, Mr. ITC champion. I just got my towel. But let's go for the underdog, the uprisers, the four-armed emperor cults. How about those?
The Underminers?
The Underminers. See, there's so many puns here, and puns win tournaments. It's a well-known fact.
Boy, I
Is
wish.
that why? No, that's too mean.
Yeah. Well done. See, you can't come up with puns.
Yeah, that's not what that was happening there.
But it's true.
Let's see. John Chafe says, what movie does John have to write an essay on if he fails? None, because this is not a bet. This is me choosing to challenge myself. Whereas Nick was in danger. Actually, he's no longer in danger because it already happened.
He's
of
still
failing to honor a bet.
Failing to honor. I always honor.
Sort of.
Sort of, yeah. But Nick, do you have any plans for tonight?
I think my plans have been determined for me, unfortunately.
Do you want to jog my memory and maybe help out the chat?
I have terrible memory, so I don't really remember either.
Something about like the best movie ever made. It's like 3.5 hours.
It's something extended.
Kangaroo Jack isn't that long.
Something extended.
Kangaroo Jack
Nick is watching the extended edition of Return of the King tonight. He's doing it. He failed the bet after he lost the bet and then got out of it and then failed the next bet and got back into it. Nick is watching the extended edition of Return of the King and will be writing an essay on it.
We should make you write the essay live on stream.
I will write it live on the stream. I'll go through all of my inner thoughts. You could learn how my brain works. It'd be a whole
I am
thing.
unwilling.
actually be
I am
scary.
unwilling to be here for that. Completely unwilling. I will not be joining you. No, after the Harlequin challenge, Nick is going to be watching Return of the King extended edition, writing the essay. It's going to be great. I am just so excited. Return of the King it's really just a timeless classic. All 3 of the Lord of the Rings are great.
Oh yeah.
You know,
It's not even old enough to be a classic. It's
Yes,
it
it is.
really
more
is.
timeless.
It is both.
Fellowship
CGI,
of
the
the Ring-
CGI has aged pretty well,
Yeah.
honestly.
It
Yeah.
is. It
I mean,
has. Let's
Fellowship of the
check
Ring
it out in
came out.
100 years, okay? About 1,000. Talk about that for timeless.
I mean, the books came out.
What would you consider any movies timeless?
Not really. Timeless is a big word. Like Alexander the Great is timeless. He's been
not.
around for literally centuries. I know.
I think Warhammer has been around for longer than Alexander the Great was alive.
40,000 years, true. So, Warhammer is timeless. I completely agree. But, like, Lord of the Rings, like 20
Timeless.
years? Come on, get out of here. My mom's older. I'm older.
Did Nick just
Yeah,
make
but if
his
you-
own mom joke?
I think so.
No. That was just a
Yeah,
fact. That's
Those
just
are
a
those
fact.
tournament winning puns.
If I had
there.
said your mom, it would have been a joke. That was just a statement.
Are you calling his mom a joke now?
I'm saying nothing. She's a wonderful lady, I'm sure. Haven't met her.
Disappointed in you, Nick.
How did we get here?
Those puns aren't winning any tournaments anytime soon.
How did we get here? Why are we here?
I don't know. You just kind of walked
Let's
in.
get existential.
No.
I don't have enough coffee in my system to get existential.
Yep. How crazy is 9th edition guard going to be? Catchy, we can only hope that they kill 2,000 points of orcs per shooting phase. They can lose everything else, but I want to kill chaos and orcs. It's about sending a message. I hope the relic of Lost Cadia stays in.
King Hef, thanks so much for your super chat.
Woo, King Hef, thank you so much. We're doing Azurian's work. Thank you. I actually wish we had Azurman to paint. Unfortunately, we don't actually have any unpainted Dire Avengers. So we're gonna have to get around to getting those. Nick, we need some Dire Avengers.
Well, we got the orange ones.
We do, but like we need some blue ones.
We do need some blue ones.
Need some blue Avengers.
Blue Avengers?
Blue Avengers.
I like Dire Avengers. I thought they were going to suck when they moved to Elites, but having now read a whole bunch of rules in the preview today, which you should totally check out if you haven't, it's only 4 hours long, you should definitely take some Dire Avengers, actually. You can make them OBSEC. You could make them double OBSEC.
Oh, I missed that. How do you make him double OBSEC?
Take your Azurman and thing.
One of the Exarch powers.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna take Azurman? He hasn't been seen ever since the Towner stepped on him.
No, I think he still lives there. I might take Magan Ra, though. The Magatar, that thing rips.
Really? What does it do? I actually wasn't impressed by it, but maybe just reading everything at once means I missed something.
I'll read it in this preview.
Preview copy.
I'll read it in this preview. Where's the Magatar?
It's probably on Magan Ra's status sheet.
Wow, I had never thought of that.
Well, you found it with my help, so.
It's Assault 6, 36 inches. He always hits on 2s. It's Strength 7, AP 2, and 2 damage. Every 6 inflicts a mortal wound. And it has this bonus rule. Well, it ignores dense cover, which is lovely. And each enemy model that is destroyed by an attack made by this model counts as 2 models in the morale phase. Which I know doesn't sound that great, but there is a lot of leadership shenanigans that you don't have to go out of your way for in this book.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So does he always hits on 2s? Does he have like a rule that
he doesn't have the always hits on 2s anymore. He ain't that guy.
Oh, okay. But he ignores dense cover.
He's just going to hit on 2s and ignore dense cover.
So you could lightning fast against him.
You could.
Tricky. Well, okay. You think Magan Ra is going to be...
I think 150 is really pricey. But I do think he is really good because he's the kind of guy who shoots very accurately, and Strength 7 minus 2 damage is... that's an annoying thing to get shot by for 5 turns straight because you're never answering him. He sits in the back and just rips. He's like a tank that can't be shot back. If you think about him like that, and then he's a little OBSEC character, I quite like him. But 150 is steep.
Who is he the Phoenix Lord for?
He's the Dark Reapers. So you could take him and like a solo unit of Dark Reapers that's still fire and fades or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that could be a little package. He makes them
OBSEC.
That's a whole thing. And then
it's kind of what the Phoenix Lords do. They make the troops OBSEC now.
Right.
That.
I'm writing history out here. I don't know. Like I said, this book is so deep. I just came up with that in 4 seconds. There's so much more to come up with. It's a whole Harlequin tree. I don't even know. I think you could make an Incarne build. Can you take the Incarne and the regular Avatar in the same list?
I believe so.
Holy crap, that's a list.
We've actually got a question about the Triumvirate data sheets. Nick, you played the Incarne more than I ever did. Do you want to look at the Incarne real quick and tell us what some highlights on the changes are?
I already read her in the preview, but I will preview. So Repreview. She got some stat changes. So she's up to 12 wounds, which is a blessing and a curse because more wounds is great, but now she can be shot. She also went to T7, so she's a little bit tougher at being shot.
Mm-hmm.
So she's as tough to kill as like Swarm Lord or Flyrun or something of that stature, which isn't easy, but it's also not impossible. Mm-hmm. She got a strength buff. She's strength 7. That's lovely.
Ooh,
that's nice.
She got a move buff. She's moved 10 now.
Ooh.
And then she degrades. So her movement and her attacks. She went up to 7 attacks. And something else degrades.
So gain some attacks, but now they degrade.
Yeah. And
gain some wounds, but can be shot now.
The teleportation, all that, that's still there. She just
still got the tricks.
Yep.
The cool thing about her is her sword's got 2 profiles. One of them's a sweepy sweep. That's what you'd expect to be. It's make 2 hits for every hit. So 14 attacks, good AP, 1 damage. Or her badass sword swings are like strength a ton, AP a million, D3 plus 3 or D3 plus 3 damage. Ignores invulns. So they're just like kill crap.
Solid.
Sorry,
Custodes.
Does she have like a feel no pain or any like -1 damage or anything like that?
She is an avatar, so she's half damage. I think. Let me check that.
So you said it's tough as a Swarm Lord, and then you said half damage.
I completely forgot she was half damage, so you reminded me she's half damage. And now I'm going to make sure she's half damage.
Spence M, I think that this codex has not 1 but 2 excellent relic pistols
she
in
is
it.
half damage.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, and... Oh, no, that's not that. Never mind.
Still half damage. That's impressive.
That's big.
So I like her quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. How many points is she now?
She's 250.
That's not bad.
Ignores invulns is on a really powerful attack like that is like an amazing.
Yeah, and she's like not that big, so even though she can be shot now, I feel like hiding her is like an option.
She's yay tall.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like width,
but
like she can hide behind some obscuring.
she's on a Dreadnought base, right? Redemptor base.
A little bit Redemptor. Yeah.
I think
it's a custom base, but it's like Redemptor.
I think it's in between the Redemptor and maybe it's Redemptor size.
Roughly.
Maybe it's the Gazgul base,
It might be the gas base.
which I think is a Redemptor.
okay,
No,
and
it's a little
It's a
smaller.
little smaller,
Okay.
but you know she could be hidden,
Yeah. Oh,
It's
absolutely.
and
hard
she
to hide,
flies.
but, yeah.
It's
Or
hard
you
to
just
hide, but
keep her in reserves.
and then
Well,
she just
it's
bounces
once
out.
she gets
and then
onto
she
it.
bounces
She
out.
can't go into reserves once she's on the board. She just bounces around the board. The challenging part with the Incarne is if you send her out to kill something, then she often ends up on your opponent's side of the board, and you want
And
to
she's-
teleport her back, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Like if she kills something on your opponent's side of the board exposed in the combat phase where she will likely kill stuff, what else is killing something back in your safe zone so that she can then teleport? It's a challenging thing.
This is fair.
Is the question where is Dark Tone? Dark Tone. Ah, there it is. Boink. The last one, of course.
Naturally.
Yeah, spent some multiple. I think we've got multiple strong contenders for the relic pistols here.
Okay, I am gonna go get Siegs to set up the scene. I'm gonna record mine because I still haven't done that. But you,
Okay.
me, and Siegs got to do ours soonish, and then
Sounds good.
yeah.
Yeah, you and C's gonna knock yours out, and then if you want to tag me, maybe you can come hang out, talk some Eldar again.
I don't think Siegs is gonna do this.
Okay.
I just don't.
All right. Dun, dun, dun. All right, what to do here? We've got two rambunctious puppies. I hope you can hear them running into the doors, because honestly, it's kind of funny to watch. This happens a lot.
You'd think at one point one of them would have some sort of brain damage, but
Nope, they're just puppying around.
running.
And they're just having fun with it. You know, it's actually pretty cute. All right, just getting a bit of a black wash onto the green here. Just painting some Guardian platforms.
What are your thoughts on taking Guardian platforms now?
So I'm actually really not a fan of them, which is unfortunate because I fully magnetized them all.
Oh.
Yeah, because I didn't know that. The problem, I realized I should have known this in advance. Like I looked at it, and I'm like, oh my god, if you take one, you're an 11-man squad,
Yep.
and that is like, oh, that's really scary.
Yeah.
Like right now, being an 11-man squad feels like a very bad call because Tau exist,
That is not.
and like it's not like they weren't gonna kill you,
They just kill you.
but it's like they kill you so fast now. So I'm a little scared about that, but I like the platforms thematically, so I'm still like holding on to some hope.
What do you think about a 20-man with two?
I don't mind that. And, you know, honestly, I'm actually like totally okay with Storm Guardians. Mm-hmm. Because they're a point cheaper. They're AP1 in combat. They get the +1 attack from the blade, and then they get baby transhuman and a 5-up invuln if they have a serpent scale platform.
Yeah, that
so I
one
think a
is-
20-man with just one serpent scale platform, and I'm just like, this is just the last thing that dies.
Yep.
Is just a little serpent scale platform floating around.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like legitimately tanky.
I think so.
It's 170 points, I think, for the 20-man. But like at that point, it's 40 attacks in combat. You can give them some pretty decent buffs. I think it really depends on what kind of craft world you're running.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think that kind of a detachment benefits a lot from the custom craft worlds.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you start getting things like
Extra range.
exploding sixes.
Exploding sixes.
And +1 AP in combat. And it's like, you know, if you get these things to AP2 with exploding sixes, then you're like, Doom. I could see it. I could see that like adding up.
That works.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about that.
So yeah, I don't know. Plenty of options, so a lot of potential in there. I think it's going to take a while to unpack this book, really.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this thing's going to be the Space Marine Codex, where there's plenty of people are going to like find a thing that works, and it's going to be good for a while. But I feel like you're going to be able to constantly go back for builds.
Oh yeah.
Where like every time the Space Marine Codex gets written off, there's one Space Marine player who spends some time with it and is like, you know what, here's a new build, and then it does better than people would expect.
Yep.
I'm going to guess that Craft World long term is like that, where even after they become meta, they get nerfed, there's always going to be like one or two alternate builds that you can find if you spend the time.
Which is the sign of a good codex.
It is very deep. I'm excited about that. Like for Craft World players, I don't consider myself much of an Eldar player. Although
He keeps saying,
well, you know, I mean, if they're good, I'm going to play them, but like I'm not going to go out of my way to play Eldar just for the sake of playing Eldar.
yes, you will.
No, I mean, I'm really excited about Sisters Battle right now.
I mean, that's fair.
I don't know why. Like, they just got nerfed, and I'm like, now I'm going to switch to Sisters, but here we are.
Oh, I mean, you brought up Ultramarines win rate. Now you got to bring up the sisters. So.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's got to do the Emperor's good work. All right, quick washes. I don't know. I'm excited for it. This coffee's really helping.
Yes,
this was necessary. All gone. Okay. With these bikes, I'm just gonna put some quick black washes on the fins. I'm gonna go back and do some airbrushing on them later. But for right now, this is good. Drink. I need to figure out what color I want to do these little back fins. Right? I don't know.
Maybe do the. Well, you already kind of airbrushed them.
I'm going to do another airbrush coat over this. This is the first coat. I was going to do a wash and then do a lighter green over it.
Gotcha.
To like smooth it out a little bit. This was just a very quick basing.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe do some of the white on the fins.
Yeah, like the little back like squares. That wouldn't look bad in white.
Yeah. Just to kind of keep with the Beal tan.
Yeah. Should I do all 3 white? Maybe I could do like white, black, white.
Yeah. Do they have a Exarch or a Sergeant?
No, they don't have any kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, no character type. I don't mind that idea at all, actually. All right, so let's get a. Let's see. I would prefer for blast to be that damage rolls over instead of the current rule. Yeah, that's actually not even a terrible idea.
That would make things interesting.
Full payload Manticore time. Whoop whoop.
Yeah. That is one thing I will say. I've been playing a little bit of Sigmar on the side. And damage rolling over really changes
everything.
Everything.
Literally everything, yeah.
I mean, it's okay, cool. I play Deepkin in Sigmar because I can't get away from elves no matter what system I play.
Yeah, their standards are just.
And it's like, cool, all right, I hit these 1 wound guys with my giant turtle that does 6 damage. Neat, 6 guys die.
The battle. Okay. I like the battle turtle.
Oh. Did you see now they're going to be
like battle line
now?
I'll admit, I'd another Deepkin pretty cool. I mean, as far as elves go.
Going to be running 3 turtles.
War turtle. Wow. I think if I were to switch to Sigmar, I would never say switch to Sigmar. If I were to like dabble in Sigmar, I really want them to update Lizardmen.
Yes.
Because I feel like a lot of the big Lizardmen models are really cool, but then like the Saurus Warriors and like the cold ones, I'm just like, this just need cool aesthetic models need love.
Yeah.
So if they ever like get a full range redo on Lizardmen, that's something I'm willing to look at for me.
Yeah.
And then I love Lizardmen.
Oh yeah.
It's Jurassic Park.
Absolutely.
But like honestly, I would like do like a Lizardman display base with like a Taurox on it. Ooh. And like not like just like full Jurassic Park.
Absolutely. Got to pan it up to look like the.
I really would. It'd be like the red and yellow Taurox.
Yes.
Like on the base of like the Carnosaur.
Yeah.
Like oh.
And then you got a stencil on the side.
Oh yeah. I'm not even gonna like be subtle about it. Like we're gonna like literally put like the Jurassic Park logo on a Taurox.
I love it.
Has the Death Watch removed marker light strap been reworded? Bruce Gordon, I do not believe it has been changed in any way. I would have to go reread them and marker lights. Here's a little thing. I actually haven't read the Tau book yet. It's been weird. We got the Tau book. And then Richard went out of town the day it arrived, and he just took it with him. And we're like, oh, well, I guess we don't get to know what Tau does.
Great.
And then he came back, and then I went on vacation, and I didn't get to take it with me because I don't play Tau. And then I come back, and then Jack goes to Cherokee, and he takes it with him because he's playing the army. And I legitimately haven't been in the house at the same time as the Tau Codex for more than a day.
Oof.
Well, so I just haven't read it yet.
Get on that. Quick.
I played against them, and like it hurt.
Yeah.
But I played against them before we had the book, like in like the early leak kind of stage things.
Yep.
Yeah. Fate's Day Dreamer won against Tau last night with Valorous Heart. Heck yeah. Nice. I love Valorous Heart as like a little counter to Airburst spam because the Ignore AP1, Treat AP2 as AP1 means that Valorous Heart Sacristans will last a really long time. And you also build in the Ignore Mortal mechanic on Valorous Heart. Ooh, so it's a little bit better against getting bled over by rail rifles and stuff like that.
Yep.
So really a big fan of Valorous Heart in that context. I like Bloody Rose more overall, but if I was doing a team event, I would legitimately consider Valorous Heart as like a stealth Tau answer.
Ooh, yeah. That's
like, I don't know if Tau players would see it coming.
Especially if they do like the heavy rail rifle build with 9 broadsides.
Oh yeah, like smart missiles against that is like ding, 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 ding,
okay, cool.
Like I just like make a Rhino the closest.
Yep.
And if you shoot it with Moncon, it's the closest. It's like, okay, well your AP2 now goes to AP1 and I'm gonna pop smoke on the closest Rhinos. It's like you hit on 5s and I still get a good save against it. Like I don't care. And then if you shoot anything that's not the closest, it's like, oh, AP1, not anymore.
No more.
And it's just 2-ups. And you're like, this is awesome. And then you have like Celestine like trailing out because you got 30 Sacristans, like a bunch of characters. Like I think you could do some really cool anti-Tau tech with Valorous Art.
That would be...
But you get rocked by Custodes.
And everything else.
Yeah, Valorous Art's actually not bad. But Custodes rock you.
Yeah.
And like Bloody Rose, I can at least try to fight them in combat, even though it's still hard. Any quick tips on when to prioritize shooting versus capturing an objective? Inception 418. This is something we talk about a lot in the Worm, but the quick tip is that you don't have to win the game in one turn. So if there's one turn where your opponent's going to get more primary, but you're going to do enough damage that you can swing it back later, okay. If it's turn 4 and you're talking about killing versus objectives, go for the objectives. But if you can, Can you take Phoenix Lords without losing Strands of Fate? Yes. Yeah. Phoenix Lords, 100%. They are good to go.
No, I fell asleep at one point during the
during Nick's stream.
Yeah,
I mean Nick was talking. I get it.
But did they get the one Phoenix Lord per detachment thing?
No. You know what I really want to do, and this is not good, but what I want to do is you perked up on that. I want to take a Falcon and put 6 Phoenix Lords inside, and deep strike it, and set up all 6 Phoenix Lords to charge on to attempt a 9-inch charge. And like if you fail, the Falcon's the closest, so that like smites are gonna hit the Falcon, and then if they shoot the Phoenix Lords, they're just all gonna be at 3 wounds left, and then you just charge them with 3 wound Phoenix Lords. This is really bad to be clear. I mean, but like 6 Phoenix Lords and like a drop out of woo.
I totally haven't been trying to kit bash together multiple Phoenix Lords to stick with the Falcon.
I'm about Jane Czar. Jane Czar is the best one, by the way. I don't care. Jack's like Baharoth's the best one. Mark is like, I don't know. Whichever one I thought was the worst, that's the one he's going to pick. Nick was really non-committal, as always. Jane Czar. Jane Czar is the best one. Mark my words.
I think it's a toss-up between Jane Czar and Baharoth.
Baharoth is really good. Jane Czar does more.
I like Baharoth because he's always going to be in play.
He's so annoying.
I love that. I love annoying my opponents to the point that they quit. That's the only way I win. So.
Yeah, I just feel like Jane Czar is better at actually like getting stuck in.
Oh, absolutely. Which is why I'm going to have both.
Like no Overwatch, fight last, -1 attack, advance and charge. I'm just like,
and the 15 Banshees running with her now.
We're now OPSEC, and she has the sweep attack. I'm like, this is so good. Jane Czar is just going to be so annoying for people. I'm really excited. Like whatever I'm doing, like honestly, I think I'm going to go heavy on Harlequins. But if there's a craft roll detachment, Jane Czar is in the detachment. 140, slam dunk. All day long. Put her in.
All day long.
All right. I need to decide what I'm doing on the camo cloaks. Do I accept that this is just this is a fine, like really quick way to do it, or do I try to spruce it up a little more?
Could you do another splotch of a different gray kind of in between to break up the
I probably could.
wash?
Do you think you'd do that over or before I do the wash?
I would probably do it before.
Do you think like a darker gray? This is uniform gray and a dark stone, which is like their dark brown. It's like a really dark brown.
Yeah.
But like I could do like something else.
Maybe do like the ash
gray. We'll see. I'll do one more, and I'll do. Do you think keep the dark stone as well?
Yeah, I think so.
So dark stone, ash gray, and okay. So I'm gonna do all 3 on the next one. And we're just going to paint that one, and then we'll see how it looks. And then once I've decided this is what I want to do, we're going to do the entire range of camo cloaks. We'll just keep doing a couple tests. Part of the goal is to be speedy. Do you think any guard builds are a good anti-blank in a team event setting? Yes, guard are great at anti-chaos and anti-orcs. Unfortunately, terrible news. That's not really a unique role, because anti-chaos is like, I don't know, do you have a tape measure? You're now a death guard counter. Good job. Stupid Death Guard. I love making fun of Death Guard. They're not nearly as bad as I like to joke about, but I always like to joke like, oh yeah, Death Guard are hard countered by having a tape measure and like knowing how to use it, and that's just kind of Death Guard's problem.
Do you move more than 5 inches a turn?
Cool. Checkmate. It does feel that way sometimes. Like, honestly,
really does. Unless they're bringing all the blow drones.
Even then, it's kill the bullet drones, and then you beat them with a tape measure. So
yeah, pretty much.
Any quick tips on what? Oh no, we already asked that one. Okay. Little speedy blotches. These camo cloaks. Okay, so that's some dark stone. We're gonna wipe that off. Then we're gonna do a little bit of ash gray. And we're going to see how that looks.
And if it looks terrible, it's all my fault.
Exactly. If adding Ash Gray like made everything terrible, then of course it's Frosty's fault at that point. Everyone knows that.
Yep. The real reason I'm on the stream.
So need someone to blame. Nah, Frosty Forge is a great help. He's gonna help me out. He always helps me out with my airbrushing. He's my airbrushing guru. Whenever I was like coming in, I'm like, Frosty, I don't know anything, and he's like, I know. I'm like, help me. And he helped me.
And now he's better than I am. So.
I don't know about that. Paul Jan, what about the red sticks? The red sticks also hard counter death card. 100%. You just like if you've got the 18-inch stick, it's even better because the 18-inch stick literally is be a red stick away.
Yeah.
And they can't charge you.
Carry on.
And it's like, all right, we're good here.
Yep. And worst case scenario, you use it to beat your opponent with.
Exactly. The whippy stick is what we always call that.
There you go.
You just whip your opponent with it when you're mad. It's like, whoosh. Those things are fun.
Better than the old metal dreadnought in a sock.
It really is. A lot less lawsuits involved. Okay. Light gray splotches. Break good things up. Ash gray. We'll see how much this shows up. Just using it to connect the splotches.
Gotta say, the one thing I was not expecting on these Rangers is how much of the armor actually got covered up.
Yeah, like I was like starting to paint the armor
Kinda
green,
crazy.
and it's like that's all that's there to paint.
Yep.
Like, oh wow, that was really, really fast. Yeah,
I'm not mad about it because I love painting leather, but
I do. Leather is satisfying to paint, honestly. Okay, so we're gonna let that all dry up, and then in a little bit I'll do another speed paint over that. We'll see how it turned out. Do you think the new Ranger bikes are better to take over straight Rangers, take both, or the base Rangers? I like the base Rangers a lot. I think that they're a very good troop choice.
yep. I was getting worried when I heard rumors that they were going to be going to elites.
Yeah, so it was a weird thing because the box set came out and they were like marked as elites, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, they're elites now!" And I'm like, "Geez," because like we had heard rumors of Dire Avengers elites.
Yep.
And at that point, if it was Dire Avengers elites and Rangers elites, it's like, what do we got left?
What do we get for troops now?
But Eldar have really good strats, so I'm a big fan of Battalion, and then maybe even Double Patrol if the points work out. But I think a Harlequin Patrol, 100%, because Harlequins are awesome. Oh, there was a funny thing on that where Harlequin troops are not core. They're just not. So the only core unit is the bike squad, and I think everyone is like assuming that the troops are supposed to be core.
That's
because like I'm just playing it as if they're. I'm gonna play it as if they're core.
Yeah.
Because like the Harlequin troops have to be core.
So then, if you play a pure Harlequin army, you have one unit that's core.
Exactly. Exactly. And at that point, it's like, why would buffs affect core if it literally is just Skyweavers?
You're what, Necrons at that point?
Hey. So I'm assuming troops are core. But so Harlequin troops, amazing. I actually really like them. They got better and cheaper, and I'm like, oh, this is real good.
I think you windmill slam a patrol of them into everything.
But Rangers are just firmly a troop choice in the book. I promise. They are. Looking right now, they are troops, and I think that they're good. Changing to ballistic skill 2 means that the Ranger long rifles are going to hit a lot better. Because I hated when I like moved and hit on 4s.
They got the same eliminator glow up.
Exactly, like the snipers hit on 2s, and that's totally fine. The Ranger long rifle gained a point of AP, and then the wire weave net I think is actually really cool. Where it's 5 points. So once per game, when you are selected as a charge target, you burn your wire weave net, and you roll a dice. On a 2+, you become -2 to charge, and the charging unit takes D3 mortals.
That's not bad at all.
For 5, like if that was 10 points, I'd probably leave it at home. But 5 points means that's actually a good screen.
Yeah,
because now your opponent has to shoot them off.
Yeah,
and like Rangers in cover, they're not like tough, but they still have the 3-up armor in cover because they get +1 for their camo cloaks and they're in cover. Like they're not gonna die slow, like too slow, but it's just a little annoying, and your opponent can't use the charge for extra movement for free. Yeah, that's the big thing. Is like Rangers literally just auto delete in combat.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, a weird thing that happened though was they made Guardians a 4-up save. And they kept Rangers as a 5-up.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised by that because Cabalites went to 4-up saves.
Yeah.
And I think their logic is like, this is better than guard armor, which, fair enough. It probably should be. But, yeah.
They've had a little more time to perfect the armor.
What about guard as anti-T-Suns, assuming you're a soft serve or the other build? I think guard just utterly destroy T-Suns, actually. Like, literally just how could 1,000 Suns... I mean, you just have like, my tanks are toughness 8. You're never going to smite the tanks.
Yeah.
Everything in line of sight dies every single turn. Like, -1 to hit, 4-up invuln on a Terminator squad, and I still think it dies turn 1.
To
just a guard army.
Well, I'm thinking,
I'm just thinking like 3
guard
Demolisher tank commanders with the Relic of Loscadia.
Yeah.
Just, reroll hits, reroll wounds,
and then a couple mana cores.
Yeah, like that'll...
Yeah.
this will happen.
I'm just worried you'll run out of actual guardsmen too quick, because...
They do kill guardsmen at the speed of thought.
Yeah.
But like, my thought process is every time someone steps out to shoot a guardsman, they die.
That's fair.
And that is an exchange rate I am willing to accept.
Yeah, that's a pretty
part of the
good
plan.
point change there.
I also, however, notoriously disrespect Thousand Suns.
I've noticed.
I'm sure as soon as I lose a game to Thousand Suns, I will change my mind.
We'll never let you live it down.
Go ahead. Many have tried. All have died. The question on Rangers is, did you roll 2 to hits on your Strand of Fate roll? Rangers are now great. Yeah, Rangers with the... What is their to hit bonus? I know their to wound bonus is a 6 is a mortal wound.
Do they get a to hit bonus?
I was honestly, I'm about to check. Maybe I missed something. I was really just thinking that Rangers, that the to hit bonuses are going to be great on like the like Karandras or something, because he gets exploding 6s.
Oh yeah.
And like if I've got a couple 6s to hit and Karandras goes in, I'm like, oh, these are extra hits.
Bye.
Die. It's like, oh god. Like honestly, what I think I would do is if like Karandras went in and I had like 2 6s on my hit rolls, I would make 2 attacks with the big claw, and I'd be like, if they're both 6s, so now it's 4 hits, and then I'd make all the rest with his like sweep profile.
Oh yeah.
That seems like it's money.
It just gets dirty quick.
Yeah, it gets dirty real fast. Let me reread Rangers. What? I'm assuming that you mean 6s to wound are really good on Rangers. Because if so, you get to...
Hang on. Okay, no, that's just there.
Yeah, they get dense cover with the gloom field, or they get the minus... So you have to choose between them. I like the -2 charge and the D3 mortals.
Oh, yeah.
It's 5 points.
Yes, why not?
That seems good. Yeah, but if you're like shooting a character and you're like, oh, here are my 6s to wound, it's like 2 wounds. Yeah, an auto-modified wound roll of a 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound. Which is really, really good. There is some cool stuff with the custom traits. This one actually I really liked. Mm-hmm. One of them is when you roll a 6 to hit with a shuriken weapon, it counts as a 6 to wound.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like, whoa, okay, shuriken weapons. Like that, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Like, if you like guide a guardian blob and you're just like, 6 is time.
Yep. I'm looking at the old guardian blob again, like that.
I think there's a lot of ways to buff a lot of units.
Yep.
I really think that most of these data sheets are totally a question of, are you taking the right craft roll to justify them?
Exactly.
Where like, if I take Sam Hand, like half the things that I would otherwise take are just like, nah, this is terrible in Sam Hand.
Yeah, no, don't do
And then like, if I want to take the jet bikes and I'm like, I'm taking Oathway, it's like, maybe not.
No.
Like spears and anything besides Sam Hand, like, not gonna do this. This isn't happening. Okay, so done with the block there. We're gonna let that dry a little bit to the wash there. Let's maybe I'll start painting some of these jet bike bodies. Let me see what kind of grays do I have here. So many speed paints. I do have a lot of grays. So Grim Black is exactly what it sounds like. That's normal paint. Where are my speed paint grays? It's called like, I don't remember what it's called. Hold on. The name's gonna take me a bit. Gravelord Gray. I'm thinking like the body of the jet bike should be gray, right? Like a dark gray.
Yeah.
I was thinking I was gonna just speed paint like a leather on the seats, and then the entire body in gray, and then I'll just do the engine silver, and then like the gun will be white because built in.
Yeah, that'll work.
That should be fine. Maybe I'm wondering how the Gravelord Gray is gonna look over the. Unfortunately, like when I did the airbrushing, a little bit of green blood over. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on the bikes. I'm going to do the next layer of airbrushing on my next break. And then when I'm done with that, I'll go back and touch up with some like a light gray or a white. I'll touch up the entire thing, and then I'll start painting the body with speed paint.
That sounds.
I love the Dark Harlequin subfaction with large troop units. Yeah, there are so many options. Yo, Francis Frost in the chat. Very glad you did not drink the paint water. You know what? I was reaching for it, but I decided to finish off the coffee instead. Always a danger. Always a danger. See, it helps to like use a solo cup for paint water because I never drink out of solo cups.
See, I had to do
but
that.
Like,
so
I have to keep it out of range of you, though.
Yeah. Well, she got me a fancy rinse cup.
Yeah.
That's clear.
So you can see that.
So I can actually see what's in it. So if it looks kind of murky, I'm like, oh wait, that is not the one.
That's not the one. Yeah, I don't know what you're drinking.
I will say though, like coffee with a little bit of metallic Vallejo mixed in with it has a very interesting aftertaste.
Really?
Not that I'm speaking from
Like,
experience
no.
or
Like,
anything.
do you get like the metal flakes and everything? That sounds fun. Yeah, good.
Then looks like you have glitter on your lips. And
Chris, what have you been doing?
then you get awkward questions. And it's better just not to go there.
Better to avoid the whole thing. All right, I'll give you that one. Let me find some reds. Ooh, slaughter red. That sounds cool. And there's a blood red. Blood red. I need to touch up one of the warp spiders because I missed a spot on him. And then I'm going to touch up the green on the one crimson, the one striker scorpion that I missed.
Yep.
And then we're going to try out that yellow.
Ooh, there we go.
Actually, we're going to do the yellow first because that's so near the gray. Then we need to give it time to dry.
Yep.
That's important. Because one of the things with the Armor Painter speed paints is it's a reactive paint. Okay. I don't know how much you've looked into speed paints. Have you at all?
Not really.
All right, so I'm going to give you the spiel. And
give me the spiel.
Here's the spiel. So all the Army Painter speed paints are reactive paints. And what that means is that, one, in practice, it means that they take a while to dry. Okay. But what it means is that if, like, while they're drying, they get wet, they'll reactivate.
Ooh, okay.
And so, like, the pigments will then, will mix.
Yep.
So ups and downs. Downside is if you're not really thinking, you, like, put it down, and like 20 minutes later, you're like, yeah, this looks dry, I'm going to paint over it. It's going to reactivate the paint, it's going to mix.
Yep.
Upside is that because it reactivates like as it dries after you apply it. That's why the surfaces look so smooth.
Gotcha.
It's because the paint is still active when you put it down. So
it also sounds like it would be easier to clean up if you
also
get a little bit of over.
It is. That's nice too.
Not
But
that you would have any experience.
Not that I would have literal experience with that all over the stream. But so what that means in practice is that it's really good for batch painting, where you paint something on a model, then you come back to it in like an hour or two.
Yeah.
And it's good there.
Okay.
And like so far, that's what I've been doing. Zero problems.
Nice.
But I think if you're not ready for the reactivator, you don't know how it works, I can see it tripping you up.
Okay.
But I think once you know how it works, I think it's totally like, if you just think about it, it's just so easy to avoid it becoming a problem.
I like it.
How do you deploy the Webway Gate? Are there things that you should look to do? And is it optimal for Eldar? I think that the Webway Gate is fan-frickin-tastic. Have you heard the reading on it? I'm gonna tell you what. Before I paint, I'm gonna procrastinate.
Yeah. Just please
fortification time.
Tell us the one fortification in the game we should be taking.
Oh, this is so good. All right, let's go. It's got to be at the back of Craft Worlds, I'm sure. That's why there's so many data sheets in this book. I
don't know. I haven't read it yet. I don't know where it is.
Webway Gate. All right. During deployment, when you set up this unit, it can be anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 12 inches away from the enemy deployment zone. So it doesn't have the normal rule about being far from terrain.
No, it does not.
So it's real easy to set up.
Yep.
Real easy to fit. You don't have to replace something.
Now, how would that work with some of the like FLG events and stuff where fortifications take the place of?
They don't have to.
Oh, they don't have to.
They don't have to. Okay. It's a cannon. Yeah.
Ooh, that's dirty. That's dirty.
So it's more than 12 inches away from the enemy deployment zone. So it's going to be in your half, but it could be right on the line, right on the middle spot.
So instead of deploying a terrain piece into the middle, you just stick your Webway Gate there.
Yeah. And it doesn't have like a far away from it is 12 inches away from the enemy deployment zone and any enemy models. Okay. So it's deployed like a unit.
Yep.
So that means that if your opponent gets the first drop and they put like an infiltrator squad straight down, they could try to block the Webway Gate.
That's fair.
Which they should do.
Yeah. Yes.
Once it has been set up, each Wraithbone Arch is treated as an obstacle with light cover, heavy cover, unstable, and inspiring for Eldari.
Which is the +2 leadership.
+1 leadership. Big thing is light and heavy cover is cool. The heavy cover is actually nice.
I like that. So they get charged back.
Yep, you get the nice save.
You get all your bonuses. Unstable position is the...
You can't be on top of it.
Can't be on top of it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's fair.
Yeah, look at that thing.
If somebody tries to wobbly model on top of a Webway Gate, just no.
Yeah, no. It's 5 inches by 12 inches. How you can fit that on the table?
Carefully.
I don't think it's 12 inches. I think it's 12 inches tall.
Yeah, it's fair. It's
very small. Like it's profile.
It's narrow. It's about as narrow as wide as a Wraithknight.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're talking.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be far from a terrain piece. So like it can like be literally touching a forest. It can be on a forest.
Oh, that would be dirty.
Right.
And then you stick all your dudes right there, and then they have to charge into the forest to get it.
Yeah. But then, of course, when you come in, you're going to be coming in the forest. So pros and cons. And it can't be destroyed.
With a bunch of flag.
True. It can't be destroyed. It's not like a unit. And all it is that if you use strategic reserves, you have the command point cost to put things in reserves. rounding down, which I love because you can spend the first CP for free.
Yeah,
because you have it rounding down.
Ooh.
So the first 9 power level goes in reserve for free, saves you CP. And then when it arrives from reserves, from strategic reserves, not like a special deep strike, you can just arrive wholly within 6 of both Webway Gates, and it doesn't matter how close you are to the enemy.
Yeah, I like
and
that.
I love that purely because 1, dirty.
Yes.
2, like you just put that thing forward and you can just arrive in the middle of the board on the center objectives with like the avatar of Cain. Like, surprise, if you were anywhere near these objectives, we are now in combat.
Yeah.
Like, and Craft will have a lot of ways to go back in reserves.
So you could actually do 3 CP worth of strategic reserves
For 1.
for 1.
Yes, because you have it to
'Cause
1.5 and then it
down.
rounds down. So you could put 29 power level in reserve
Yep.
for 1 CP if you have a Webway Gate, which
How many power levels a Wraithknight? 23?
it's less than 29.
Less than 29?
It's less than 29.
So you do that plus some Howling Banshees.
Yeah,
and
it might have I think it has I think it has not Titanic. I think it says besides Titanic.
Oh, sad.
The Wraithknight fits between the arches. It's weird because there's no rule on how far apart the arches have to be.
Yeah.
At least, so I don't know. But anyways,
Either way.
however you set it up, because it doesn't have to be far from terrain and it could be on top of another terrain feature, I think it's going to be easy to place.
Yeah.
Like, super easy to place.
I need to get me a couple. Well,
You can only take one. You can only take one.
I need one for the game, one for display board.
I was just going to like take it all
Alternate.
off.
That's true.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
Well, the one on the display board is going to have LEDs and
Oh, that's fair.
all
then,
kinds
then,
of stuff
yeah.
for it. So
That's
I guess I could put that on the table, but
Fancy. All right, what did I say I was going to do?
I
I was going to do yellow.
I win because my Webway Gate looks prettier.
That's probably true, yeah. It's all right. My display board is going to have mirrors, maybe.
That's fair.
If I have to rebuild one of those, I'm going to be so sad. So here's the story, people. I played Eldar once back in the day, and I built a display
Like
board.
4 times.
4 times back in the day. And like 5 tournaments in a row. Like 1 time. And I built a display board for it. That was, I used a one-way mirror and a normal mirror to create like a gateway effect with an LED ring in between them, so it created a long like webway portal. And I put that in a mountain, and like I think my painting at the time was subpar, and I could have painted it a lot better. But the physical structure I was very proud of.
Oh yeah.
And when I got off the Eldar bandwagon and I swore off Eldar, I didn't really need an Eldar themed display board, so I sold it. Sold it to a buddy for a pretty good price. It's like, hey, I just don't need this. Like, do you want it? Because I sold him my Eldar army, and I was like, I'll throw this in.
Yeah.
And time has gone by, and I asked him, like, hey, have you ever, like, used the display board? He's like, honestly, no. And I'm like, I'll buy it back from you. And he's, like, kind of waffling.
Yeah.
But I'm like, come on, you don't use it. Like,
Yeah.
save me a lot of effort because I don't want to have to rebuild that thing.
You should have to rebuild it.
No.
Think how much better you could do it this time.
I think I could
not
just take
helping
the
you,
current.
but
No.
you could.
I think I could just take the current model and keep building off it, and it would look so much better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. How many points is a Wraithknight? I think it's a clean 400. I think a Wraithknight is a lot better than Knight and still not as good as a Storm Surge.
And then you've got your weapon upgrades.
Yeah, then the weapon upgrades do cost non-zero points. Wraith Knights aren't bad. I just don't think that they're like amazing or anything.
I think the 400 is for
The cheapo one.
the close combat.
Yeah. I like the shield a lot. A
not
4-up
mad about
Invuln is like, oh, it's so good.
-1 damage. Like, yeah, it's...
I kind of want to just take one as like a big dumb distraction current effects.
Yes.
Honestly. That's the tempting stuff. All right, I think I underestimated how thin this thing was. I need to get a detail brush to apply the speed paint. One of these is a detail brush. I think the black one. Can you hand me the black?
Is that the Psycho? No?
This is good enough. It's the masterclass.
There you go.
Yeah, that will also do it. Thank you.
Insane detail.
Insane detail, insane in the brain.
I like the Psycho one myself.
Yeah, army painter brushes. They last. I like these things.
This is my second regiment brush I've gone through in almost 3 years.
Yeah, like if you take care of them,
So-
army painter brushes will last a lot longer than other ones, is my experience.
Whatever you do,
Keep
do
them away
not
from
let
Nick.
Nick.
Yep, we were both going there.
Yep.
We both knew what that meant. Here, Hemlocks are not bad. What do they do? I will look that up in just a second. I genuinely did not even read the data sheet.
So they're no longer auto hitting,
Yeah.
which is sad. They're still a psyker.
Okay.
I think they still have you can only cast the second
Yeah.
of the Runes of Fortune.
They don't do the buffs, they do the debuffs.
Yeah.
Find out. What is a...
They
What?
still have the -2 leadership.
Good for that Mind Shock pods.
Yep.
There you go. You tag that up with Magen Ra.
And I think they kept the -1 damage for being Wraith.
Whoa. Oh, if they're -1 damage, that wouldn't be a cap, that'd be a have. They are. It's a -1 damage flyer. Hemlock, that's interesting. Every time we've got a -1 damage flyer, it has been blatantly bad for the game. Do it again.
I have 2 sitting painted ready to go, so...
God darn it. T6, 12 wounds, 3 up save. Classic.
Yep.
Heavy D-Scythe is 18-inch D6 shots. Blast. Strength 12, AB4 damage 2. An unmodified wound roll of a 6 inflicts a mortal in addition to normal. And it's a 12-inch aura of -2 leadership. I actually
it's
might...
not bad.
How many points is it? It's airborne, explode, supersonic, hard to hit, all the normal things. When this model attempts to manifest psychic power from the runes battle discipline, you can only select that power's second effect. And it knows 1 power from runes of battle, and it casts 1. So it knows smite and 1.
No.
Not bad.
That's not the end of the world.
I need to look into what psychic actions require characters and what require psychers. So if I fly by Hemlock, do a psychic action, and then I'm like, beep, blast.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool. How many points this is really like the question that's going to come down to. Hemlock 210!
Ooh. That's...
Nope.
That's... wrong. That hurts.
Yoni asks, did you apply some shade like Dark Tone over Speed Paint yet? If nothing bad happens, that whole reactivation thing can't be so bad. Yes, I have. I have not done it immediately. Again, I was like... Adam was like, yeah, just, let it dry first and it's fine. So I've just been doing that. I have already tried some tones over it. Like on the green armor, I haven't done it yet. I just did it on my test models. But on the test models, I did the green tone, and it was fine. Okay. And I've done dark tone, which is like their black wash, on over the green as well on like vehicles, and it's been totally fine. So just let it dry.
How long would you say? Hour and a bit? Hour and a half?
I've been like overdoing it. The shortest I've done is an hour.
Gotcha.
And like that's been fine.
Okay.
That hasn't been a problem at all. But like some of them, it was like literally because I'm batch painting. It was like I came back like 5 hours later, and like that's easily enough.
Yeah, that's plenty. Of
like
time.
Even if you just give it like an hour or two, I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
Maybe if you like did a really thick coat, maybe an hour would be like cutting it close. But like so far, I haven't had a problem. But just mess around with it and keep in mind what the parameters are.
That's not bad.
All Warpcraft requires psychic characters. All right, good to know, Yaun. So so we're not gonna try to do actions there, and also it's a ton of points. 210 is
that hurts.
Hefty. Not gonna lie to you there, friends. 210 was not the number I was thinking when I'm like, ooh, I wonder if this is good. 210 was the wrong number.
What number would you think it would be good at?
I think at like 170 or 80, it would have been real good. Now, to be clear, maybe we don't want the -1 damage flyer to be real good. So like, if
I'm only saying it because I have 2 and I want to play them again.
Yeah.
Played them since like middle of 8th.
Yeah, and I don't think I really want the book to be good because the flyers are good. I would rather Eldar be good on their own merits as a normal army that's a little more interactive. Because -1 damage flyers have just been uncomfortable for everyone else.
We totally haven't seen that rocking the meta
twice. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Totally didn't have an issue at the beginning of 8th with 9 Hemlocks.
Oh god, I hate Hemlocks.
Thank you, Carter.
Yeah. He sold those all at the right time.
Yeah.
I think like that was like the first ATC someone went 6-0 with like literally perfect battle score with just 9 Hemlocks, and that was the list. It's like, oh, that was Carter.
Yep.
Those things were gnarly.
And what, like 3 days later, we got boots on the ground?
Yeah. We were like, GW was like, okay, fine, we noticed. I'm like, thank you.
About time.
Yeah, right. It is about time. All right, just a little bit of yellow on the dreads. Go Scorpions. Yeah, I'll pick out some yellow on the highlights as well, I think. I go back and do that because I think the dark green on the Scorpions looks good, but it's gonna need a little bit of a highlight to really pop the way I want it to. So that's okay. We're gonna go back and do that shortly, but we're gonna get all the base colors done first.
You got time.
Exactly. Like we're making great progress over here. I'm not worried. All right. Dreadhawks. All right. How is these are the Banshees?
Yeah. I actually got some of the plastic ones the other week, and they are so much better than the old ones.
That's been the thing. It's been like as part of this, I've like had some moments where I'm painting a Warp Spider, and then I pick up a Plastic Howling Banshee, and I'm like, oh my god, like, the potential that GW is leaving on the table right now in Plastic Warp Spiders or Plastic Striking Scorpions pains me.
It's going to be amazing.
When it happens, it's going to be amazing. It's just, they're making us wait a little longer than I personally would have chosen. Yellow is a good color here. Yeah, I think I just like how the yellow's coming out.
Oh yeah.
Again, speed paint. Goal is speed. Like the way it's coming though. Very nice and quick and easy. I'm just gonna do the middle one in like a dark gray, I think. Okay. I don't know why Striking Scorpions have dreadlocks. What is
reasons?
Yeah, I mean it looks cool, so I'm not really mad about it.
Yeah.
I've got an idea for an all scratch built Zinj Demon army, but I know that it would never get painted to do it justice with how much I hate painting. John, that is always many projects have died in that spot, and you know what? At least you know yourself well enough to be real about it. But if you ever find the motivation, you ever find yourself with the time, always a fan of starting a brand new project that's going to challenge you as an artist. Is this challenge for the RTT or just fun? Helpless Heroes, this is just for fun. And by fun, I mean pain. But really, it was that Ardvor lacked a cohesive Eldar army. We didn't have a studio army. We kind of were like borrowing little bits of Marks, borrowing little bits of Nicks. They didn't always match. And we just wanted a cohesive, Eldar army. And we also didn't have a lot of the new sculpts. And it was like all a bunch of like metal old Eldar. And we just thought, Craft World Eldar is a very popular army. They're getting a new book finally. They're getting ushered into 9th edition. Now is a good time to launch the project. And you know what? I was kind of looking for a little paint project just to show Nick, that you can actually paint an army in 3 days. It's not as hard as you made it.
No. I mean, I can paint an army in 3 days.
Oh my god, really?
I've done it.
Oh, okay.
All
Kill team?
Airbrush, but...
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, is this like a kill team, patrol? Is this a Custodes kill team? You painted 2 models? All right.
Yep.
That's a good 3 days for you. All right, there we go. That's all the yellow done on the scorpions.
When I'm not doing my own army, I'm actually very, very quick.
Nice.
When I get to my own army, though,
you take all the time.
Take some time.
Yeah, so this is just for fun. Although this Eldar army is going to be on stream for the Streamhouse RTT, Brad Chester, also known as Chad Brester, is going to be running Craft World Eldar in the Streamhouse RTT. He hasn't given me a list yet, so I have no idea what models he wants, but I'm just painting.
What I'm hearing is we paint up all the bad ones.
Oh, yeah. We're hiding the Night Spinners before he gets here.
Yeah.
Nick has been like, please don't paint the Indirect. And I'm like, oh, Nick, I'm going to paint 9 batteries just for you.
Yes.
Pain equals fun sounds familiar. That's Dark Eldar talk over there. Oh, get the Dark Eldar talk out of here. All right, where's the dark red? I've got Slaughter Red. I think Slaughter Red's the dark one, but let me see Blood Red next to it because it's obvious when you hold them up. Nope, I was wrong. Blood Red's the dark one. I need to touch up Warp Spider a little bit. Again, unfortunately, when you batch paint 10 models at a time, it's so easy to just forget to do one part.
Yep, every time.
I found the Exarch, I just didn't paint the fins on his head, and I'm like, I should just do that. So we're just gonna knock that out real quick. And we'll come back to these Warp Spiders. Spidery doos. Detail brush. And of course you notice it when you're painting, you're in the middle of painting a different color and you're like, oh man.
Oh yeah.
That's always when you notice that thing.
No, there's nothing quite like airbrushing a ton of models, going in, doing the detail work.
And then noticing the one spot you forgot to airbrush and you're like, oh, I have to redo this whole thing. Yeah.
Yep.
That is the downside of airbrushing, is that whenever you forget and it's I love airbrushing for doing a lot at once. I hate it when I have to airbrush a little bit. I'm like, oh, there's so much effort for I'm barely saving time at this point.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, so we'll let that dry up. And I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to come back to some of these models and I'm gonna have to get a white. I'm gonna have to pick out some of the details in white and then do a speed paint over it. Is I think what's gonna happen. Because on a lot of these, I was going really fast and I painted half of a pistol holster in green. And I'm like, this pistol holster needs to be brown, but I can't just do a leathery brown over dark green and expect that to look good.
Gotcha.
That's gonna look just weird brown.
Yeah.
So we're gonna. I think once I've got everything all the colors base coated, I think that's what I'm gonna just come back and do with a white brush over all of the infantry and just pick out the details in white. And I'm gonna come back in with the speed paint to finish it up.
That's smart.
Probably before I do the brown. And then the gems, I'm hoping that I can do something cool with what you said, which is a light silver with a speed paint over it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be if I can pull that off, that'd be wonderful and super easy.
If not, best of luck.
If not, then we're gonna do something else.
I will say on all the transports, all the vehicles, the bigger gems, that does not look good. You have to actually go
You have
in
to
and
actually
do
go in. Oh, okay.
the style of do the black and then 15 layers of shades to get up.
Indran Yogaswaran says, just played 2 games with Custodes against New Harlequins. Oh boy, Custodes had a hard time. You know what? If there's an answer to Custodes, I'm going to be mad that it's our Eldar Overlords, but I'm not going to be that mad. You know, I'll be Frosty's going to be happy.
I'm going to be mad because it means I have to fix all the Harlequins that Nick broke.
Oh god. I will say I'm happy that we have a lot of Harlequins. Here, striking scorpions compound a ton of mortal wound. What are their rules and what is their strat? So it's not a stratagem. It's whenever a striking scorpion rolls a 6 to wound, you do a mortal. There's no cap on this. There's no limits.
If you do the Exarch, he's on 5s.
If you give him a point upgrade.
If you give him the upgrade.
I actually don't think that's worth it.
What was it, 20 points?
30. It also gives him +1 attack and +1 wound. But let me give you a pitch. For 15 points instead of 30, he gets the same +1 attack, the same +1 wound, and every hit he makes auto wounds. So you lose the mortal potential, but you don't roll the wound. You take the biting blade, which is like the +2 attack chainsword. Okay. So striking scorpion's 3 attacks.
Yep.
He goes to 4 because he's an Exarch.
Yep.
5 with the bonus power, 7 with the biting blade. And every hit auto wounds. And exploding 6s is an additional hit, which will still auto wound. The 7 attack guy on average goes in as like, here's 6 saves. No mortals, but 6 saves.
What's the AP on the sword?
AP 2 damage 2. Like that's good.
I'm
15 points, the cheapest one. I'm like, I hate it. This is the cheapest one and the best one. I'm like, okay,
cool.
Bang.
Carry on.
This is the one.
I mean, it makes it easy.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any strats specifically for scorpions, but a lot of generic strats will buff them. For example, the Bealtan aspect strat, which is every 6 to hits an additional hit.
Yep.
Oh, what's that? They already have that? Double the fun.
Yeehaw.
Double the fun. Let's do it.
I feel like I'm playing Space Wolves again.
Ooh,
but better.
I don't like those words. I like Space Wolves.
So what I'm hearing is you'll be playing Eldar feeling like you're playing Space Wolves.
I don't want to guide and reroll everything because I have double exploding 6s. It's too close to home. Alrighty, so now we're going to touch up a little bit of the green on the striking scorpions, because again, I forgot little spots on like the Exarch in someone's helmet, so we're going to go in and touch up that. Then we'll see what we do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love dropper bottles, honestly.
Oh, yes.
Going from not using dropper bottles to using dropper bottles, I feel like I get so much out of my paints now.
I refuse to do anything that's not in a dropper bottle.
Yeah, good call. Why didn't you tell me that earlier?
I think I did at one point.
Okay, well, when I ignored you, why didn't you yell at me more?
That's fair. That is my bad.
I clearly deserved it. All right, let's just... All the little doodads that aren't the pistol case are just going to be green. For now. And I think that'll be like a picking out the detail thing. I don't think that's going to happen in the speed paint. Like, they've got like little like trinkets hanging on. I think I'll just go with overlay like a gold highlight. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to like base that a new color.
Yep.
Or you can fill that in so there's no white spot. Scorpion.
Done.
Yep.
Well, sort of.
It's basically done, you know, if you think about it.
Close enough.
Oh, those are plasma grenades. That's what they are.
Oh.
I think those could be silver, right?
Yeah, that would look good.
I'm going to have to do some silver on the chainsword anyway, so we can... I'm going to paint in green so that everything is, like, not white, but I would like to go over that in silver, I think. But I can do silver over this real easily. That's not going to be a problem. Okay.
That's a later John problem.
That is a later John problem. My opponent had 3x3 Void Weavers, and with no rerolls to hit and only hitting on 4s, pretty much nullified the shooting output of salvos, etc. Yeah, Void Weavers seem to be pretty good.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, Void Weavers really seem like they're going to be strong for the Eldar and for the Harlequins. I'm a big fan.
I actually have one.
Ooh, nice. So they come in squadrons now.
I saw that. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but...
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I don't know if I want squadrons, but it was very interesting. I like have this feeling that Mark's going to take like Inari Void Weaver squadrons and be like, oh, you killed one, they hit on 2s now. And I'm like, oh, God.
That is actually a point.
That sounds like something Mark would do.
That is absolutely something he would do.
Mark is a mischievous like that. Doodle-doo-doo-doo. Is your opinion just because so in your opinion, because upgraded Exarchs are all +1 wound and either +1 ballistic skill or weapon skill, it's not weapon skill, it's +1 attack or +1 ballistic skill. Do you feel it's required all Exarchs take an upgrade? I don't think it's required depending on the aspect you take, but the best aspects are also ones that have very good options. So I think I also need to reread it. Like, can I take multiple of the same one is a question I have. I really don't know the answer. Like, for example, if I take 2 striking scorpion squads, can I take the auto wound twice?
That would be.
If so, yes, it's required on both. If not, then I don't think the second Exarch actually takes something, honestly. If I can't take that one, I don't like the other ones enough to spend the points on it.
No.
They really don't like the mortal wounds on 5s, because that sounds awesome. Like, oh, mortal wounds on 5s, it's twice as good as 6s, but it's just on the Exarch.
30 points.
So it's 30 points for your Exarch to go from like 1 mortal wound to 2 mortal wound.
Yay.
At best, and sometimes you don't roll a 5. But like, how often is your 4 attack model goes to 5, again, goes to 7 attacks with the sword.
Yeah.
But like, he gets like 6 hits, he rolls the wound, he gets 1 extra 5 on average.
Yeah.
It's 30 points.
No.
Like, what am I doing here?
And then he's probably dead the next turn.
Yeah, the squad, I would pay 30 points for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Just the Exarch, like, I don't know. And yeah, striking scorpions aren't really great at going and killing and then being alive. So yeah.
Yeah, that's not something you want to invest a lot of points in.
Yoon says you cannot, they are unique. All right, so if you can't double up an Exarch power, which is fine, by the way, I think that's a perfectly reasonable rule.
No, it's not. We want all the rules. Give us everything.
Eldar privilege showing through over here.
Yep.
I think that you're also not going to take double units of many aspects, if I'm being honest.
Banshees.
Maybe Banshees, but Banshees are not cheap, honestly. They're good, but they're not cheap. Banshees are the only one I look at and I'm thinking I might take a second unit of it. Some of them I don't even take a first. Although Nick likes Dire Avengers. Dire Avengers would be the one where I don't think you ever take 1 unit of Dire Avengers. I could see you taking several, I could see you taking none. I don't think you're ever just taking the 1 unit. Feels like you're either building around it or you're not.
Yep. I wouldn't mind a couple small squads of them.
Mm-hmm. See, I actually kind of like the bigger one because their strat is double shoot if they've lost the model.
Oh, that's true.
And so a big squad is if someone dies getting out of a transport.
Yeah.
You have a wave serpent parked on an objective near some obscuring. They kill the wave serpent. You're like, all right, I'm going to disembark behind the obscuring. Oh, I lost 1 guy. All right, 9 guys come out and double shoot. Totally okay with this.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I think one of their Exarch traits is a buff if you have taken damage. Mm-hmm. And I think I would take that one. And I would just really go with that as the gimmick there. Yep. Maybe 1 10-man and a wave serpent legitimately wouldn't be bad. Choices.
Problem is I'm running out of room for wave serpents.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, Eldar looks really good, but a lot of the units that you want are not as cheap as Drukari. And that's a big thing, is the pricing difference between Eldar and Drukari is massive.
Yes.
Which again highlights how literally insane the Drukari Codex was. But Eldar are better, but are they better for the cost is the question that is yet unanswered.
Yep. I think if they had come out and been as cheap as good stuff Drukari was,
game over. That would be toxic. Looking at 3 squads of warp spiders at 110 per squad. Are all so I guess you take 1 of each of the warp spider upgrades. I like warp spiders a lot. I could see myself with 2 squads of warp spiders. I'm actually painting 2 squads of warp spiders.
Hey, look at that.
It's convenient, no? I could see warp spiders being one that you see frequently.
Yes,
they do look really strong. Yeah. All right, continuing the green touch-up.
Would you run in big squads, little squads?
I think little. I think little. You just be jerks about it.
Yeah.
1 squad can teleport around the table, which I like. That's my favorite one. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I would upgrade any others, but it's not bad. Also, they're weird. They're one of the +1 attack shrines, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
Maybe you buy the power blades after. I need to reread the power blades, see how many points they are.
Mm-hmm.
Read the stats. I'm like, I don't think I really want this. If it's 5 points or free, maybe I'll just toss it in.
Yeah, I don't really see them as a
combat
unit at all.
No,
they're a jump up, shoot, run away, do it again the next turn.
Exactly.
Missed a couple of guys, by the way.
That was intentional because they sell a pack of 6, and I'm just building 5-mans. Gotcha. I will definitely get to them, but I was just painting 10 up to start. The rest of that is a problem for later, as they say. Later, John's problem.
That's tomorrow, John.
No, that is several weeks ago from now, John. All right, green on the scorpions. If you I happen to already own them. You already have 3 squads of spiders. Look at that. You played Perfect. 7th edition. I hate those memories. Warp spiders in 6th and 7th were really a pain in the butt. That was an annoying army.
I don't think I actually had to play against them in 7th.
When they teleported, did you play with them?
Enough. No.
Oh.
I didn't win enough to have to go fight them.
Do you remember what they did?
Nope.
Every time you shot them, they move 2d6 inches.
Oh, yeah.
So
we're kind of back to that. Except...
No, every time you shot at them.
Oh, every time.
Every time you shot at them, they move 2d6 inches.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. You couldn't flame them ever.
Yeah.
Because there's like, oh, whoop, 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 out of range. Plus 10 points per model for power blades. That feels like too much.
No. Definitely no.
Yeah, don't think I am that fond of the idea of power blades. 5 points, I might have snuck them in as like a little like cheap, like let's see what kind of mileage we get from this. 10, I don't really, not inspired. Did I get this guy's foot? Yep. Okay. Green touch up. Cool. Alrighty. Lots of little fiddly details on these Eldar models. Who would have thought? Plastic ones especially, but even the fine cast ones, they were just like, yeah, I'll just put some fiddly details on there.
Yep.
Make people deal with this on a fine cast model. Great.
Thanks, GW.
This really reminds me how much I hated fine cast. It's alright. I like striking scorpions, so we are getting done. I think that's all 10. Yeah, good. Drink. All that. Good to go. Cool. All right. What I love about this book is that it seems so flexible. Like you can play a fast army, shooting army, tanky army, etc. I love the options. I agree. I think there are a ton of options in this book. I have no idea what is best, and I think that is for the best. I don't want it to be a very obvious thing. Played second edition. They were obnoxious back then. I'm sure they were young, and the same models still the same obnoxious models.
Unfortunately.
I know. Plastic Orb Spiders would be a instant sellout.
I would probably go broke.
Yeah, right.
I might end up divorced, actually.
That'd be sad. I'm still gonna hang out with Francis if that happens. So just be fair.
I mean, that's fair.
Power blades are just a power sword of +1 attack. Nope, it's not 10 points.
No.
It's really not. If they were damage 2, maybe. Even then, 10 points is like questionable.
Yeah, I still can't see them as close combat.
No.
They're just.
Yeah, I'm about it. I don't think you need those upgrades. It's weird. I'm just gonna be like, hey, the guy with the power blades is the Exarch. He does not have them.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be clear. He's
Carry on.
He's not doing this. Okay, what next? Doom. Rangers, I'm kind of waiting on that. Let's actually take that cloak and let's go ahead and put the speed paint on it.
Okay.
What was it that I used? Was it Gravelord Grey? Dang, I should have set this aside. Hold on. Let me just read the names real quick. I didn't use Runic Grey. That was too blue. I think it was Gravelord Grey. I think it was. All right, we're going to use Gravelord Grey. Newer player, but are Eldar always decent in every edition? Have they ever been in a lower tier in any edition? They were lower. Yes, they have been. They were lower tier in most of 4th edition.
Was that the last time?
Think so.
Well, beginning of 9th.
At beginning of 9th, they have been lower tier.
Now,
they are
we
no
counting
longer.
Craft worlds, or are we counting all?
Oh, like Drukari have been terrible at several points.
Yeah.
And obviously not recently.
Yeah. Because I remember 8th edition when the book came out. It was amazing.
Yeah, that book was really strong on release.
And then 9th.
And then Inari. They were strong. They were strong early 8th because of Inari.
Yep.
7th they were really good. 6th they were really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think early 5th. I think 4th they were actually good.
Yeah.
Early 5th they were bad.
Well, wasn't it because the Drukari book came out 5th, but it was like supposed to be for 6th or something.
Yeah, it was definitely
so it was bad in one, great in the other.
I think it was like mediocre at the end of 5th edition.
Yeah.
And then like 6th edition came along and everyone's like, oh wow, Drukari.
That's why they did that.
That's why they did that.
Yeah.
The second Death Spinner is free. That's actually really cool. I didn't realize that it was free, but I mean, it makes sense because otherwise you'd be paying for it on every unit. That's how they do their thing. Interesting, Youn. Interesting. 1, 2. All right, so let's...
I think every Eldar faction has had a point where they have been solid in an edition.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've had a period except for beginning of like 9th when we did not have an Eldar.
Craft World Eldar is...
Overlord.
Yeah. Craft World Eldar is like always good. Even then, Harlequins are really good early 9th.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't to Overlord status, but they were very solid.
Oh, they were good at killing Marines.
That's true. White Scars find a way.
Yeah, not your Marines. Just the rest of us.
That's true. Yeah, the Warp Spiders, I think you just take as many spinners as possible, aka a second on the Sergeant, and then you just keep them cheap. They are short range, but the 2d6 battle focus is real nice.
Oh, yeah.
Dink, dink, dink. Alrighty. So yep, just doing a speed paint on the second camo cloak, and then we're just going to decide how it looks. It take a little bit to dry. I put it on pretty heavy there, but
Gotcha.
That is a-okay.
Are you not going to do the hood?
I am. I just haven't got there yet. Zoop.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I didn't bother putting the splotches on it,
Okay.
frankly.
That's fair.
Figured there's enough texture in it. And besides, we're going for speed. It's all about the speed. Will we hopefully see Art of War do games with a variety of different builds? Curious if y'all can make Inari work. I believe so. The whole plan of this is to get an Eldar collection on the table. I'm not trying to build the best 2,000 point list and paint it. I'm trying to get us an Eldar collection that we can use. I imagine different Art of War coaches are going to try very different styles, because with a new book that quite a few of us have played in the past, Nick, Jack, and myself have all played Eldar at various points. Brad has played Eldar. Mark has played Eldar. Everyone except Richard has played Eldar, but if they're broken, he's going to switch them. Again, go win a GW event with it. Yeah, so...
Mark's already been talking about Inari.
Of course he is. Mark loves Inari. Mark is like, which one does John think is the worst? I'm going to beat him with that. It's like, gosh darn it, Mark.
And he does it. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's like, I can't like pretend that he hasn't made it work. But like...
It's not every time.
It's not every time. Mark takes 40% stuff and makes it work 80% of the time. And that is very impressive.
It is. He's an orc. He believes.
He's an orc. He just believes in things. It's like, dang it, Mark. Stop doing that. I'll be happy to watch some games done against competitive armies. Yeah, I think we're going to test quite a bit of Eldar. I think quite a bit. Just because this is a very deep book, I think it will reward a lot of testing. And also, it's going to be fun. You know, we're going to have a brand new army. You know, no reason not to show it off. All right. So we'll just let that camo cloak dry a little bit, and we'll see how we think it turned out. I think I'm going to probably end up using that recipe on all of them, but we'll let it dry first because I got plenty of other things to work on while I wait. Yeah, definitely there will be a lot of Eldar content. I'm not doing this so that we can play Tau versus Atomic, okay? No more. Stupid Tau. Stupid Atomic. I'm going to step outside for just a minute, Frosty, and I'm going to go spray paint.
Gotcha. All right.
Because I've got some... Yes, I've not even done priming the Eldar. There is a lot of Eldar. But I think this is going to be my last priming adventure for the weekend. I think this is the last batch, and then I'm calling it whatever's built and paint. Whatever's built and primed is what I'm going to try to paint.
There we go.
We're going to see what happens. All right. I'll be right back, everyone.
I'll make sure everybody stays here. Nobody's allowed to leave. Except for John.
There's a nice Eldari Codex just waiting right there for you. Ooh, indeed. Look up the
I'm just going to sit there and read through it for everybody again.
Good.
I think my favorite part about the Codex is there is lots of different ways we can be building. It's not just, oh, hey, everybody run all aspect warriors or all guardian blobs or pick a thing. We actually get to pick and choose based on our play styles and see what works. But with 200 pages, we have options. That is for sure. I'm not sure if that was John or the puppies destroying doors. Nope, that was John. And that was the puppy. What do you think about the indirect in the Codex? So I know Nick is not a fan of indirect in the game, period, because it's just not interactive. I go back and forth. I like a little bit of indirect. I don't think it needs to be a ton. I think because what's the points on since we have the book right here and I can actually open it, find the points. I don't think we're going to be seeing 3 Night Spinners and 9 platforms or 3 platforms or whatever. I think a couple Night Spinners will see a little bit of play. Let's see, Night Spinner is 140 points. So I imagine we'll see 2 of them in most lists. The weapons platforms are going to be... where are they? Support weapons. There we go. Yeah, 65 points for the support weapon with the D cannon. Yeah, we'll probably see a few of those. But I think with a lot of the new missions going towards being in the middle of the board to get your extra points and stuff, there's going to be... You don't want to sink too many points into it because then you're not going to be in the middle scoring. Now, they're still strong. I still like them. I'm totally running 2 Night Spinners. But we'll just have to wait and see. What do you think the top 3 subfactions for Eldari? Ooh, that is a good question. Honestly, I don't know. I want John's opinion when he gets back, because we'll see. He's had more chances to look over the book than I have. I like Ulthway. Most of that is sentiment because I used to run the Ulthway bombs back in 8th edition. And I think they're still okay, but Sam Hain is definitely good if you want to run a bunch of bikes. So what's some of the other ones? Let me crack open the book. It's nice being able to just crack open the book and do stuff. There are too many pages in this book. Too many pages. And that's the good thing, like I was saying. There are so many builds to this book. All right, so we got a question. What do you think the top 3 sub-factions are going to be?
Ooh.
Which, I don't know. I think it depends on which way you build it. Because you can build speed, you can build tank, you can build whatever.
So just for Eldari, I feel like Ulthway, Bealtan, and Custom are the best 3. Have you read through the customs?
I read through a few of them.
You should like take some time to digest that. Do you think a Drukari Harlequin build could be 100 competitive? 100% punks. I think it's amazing. I think it's better than pure Drukari. Which, here we go again. I can't believe we're back.
Were they ever really gone? Like
no,
they had like a week.
They had like a week. We were safe for like a week, and it's like, we're back. It's like, great. Missed you.
Yeah, now it's
ruining everything again.
all hail our Eldar
overlords. Is this the red? It is the red. It's a tiny little spot I missed. Doop, 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 doop. Yeah, red.
I do like the Hunters of Ancient Relics.
What is it? What did that change to?
Well, a unit of this attribute is performing an action. It can still shoot without the action failing.
Yeah, not bad, especially with all the action stuff going on right now.
Yeah. So like if you run a bunch of Dire Avengers, Guardians, Rangers, things like that. Swooping Hawks.
Deep Strike, action, like raise the banner, R&D, like a 6-man Hawk squad, Deep Strike's R&Ds. And it's like, while I'm here, like 24 shots. Because like the Swooping Hawk unit, it's not insignificant shooting. I want to say it's like, the Sergeant has like a decent gun. I don't know if it's free or not. But it has a decent gun.
We can find out.
And then like the rest of it is like 4 shot strength, 4 AP dash. But like I want to say they had like they had like another rule. Like it's not. I think it's not just strength 4 AP dash damage. When there's like maybe on 6s it does immortal or there's something else.
Swooping Hawks. Let's see. Hawk's Talon, 24-inch. Assault 4, 5, -1/1. Each time an attack is made with this weapon on modified hit roll of 6, automatically wounds.
That was it. So 6 is to hit auto wound. And that's the Sergeant. So the normal guy is.
And then the Las Blaster, say that 5 times fast, is Assault 4, 4, no AP 1, and has the same modified hit of 6 automatically wins.
So the AP dash is a little weird. It's going to be meta dependent.
Yeah.
But there's definitely times where just having 24 shots from a cheap unit is like really annoying. And then of course they can always do the battle focus deep strike somewhere else. That's going to be annoying. So they're going to be really good at going around and bullying cheap backfield objective holders.
Oh yeah.
Like if someone has like 5 racks and they're just trying to hold it back objectives, and Hawks are like shooting somewhere, then teleporting like way behind a wall where nothing can charge, and then they move out 14, shoot again,
Teleport away. Yeah.
It's like, ugh, it's gonna be annoying.
You're always going to have to be screening.
Yeah,
You can never just leave something.
exactly. You can't leave anything unattended.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be really annoying because you don't want people to come at you head on with Eldar. Because you never like just getting trucked by an entire army.
No. And that's the thing. They're still
Fragile.
fairly a glass cannon,
They are indeed.
which I think is going to be the balancing factor for them.
Do you think? Okay, let's see what I want to do next. Oh, missed this guy's. Missed. Honestly, let's go back over that silver. That's fine. All right, so where? I think. Go
So
ahead.
one of the questions was, what do you think about the indirect?
Oh, I think it's just baseline stats. It's a little too good. It's not core, so it's not gonna have as many rerolls. And I think if you don't go for the reroll heavy custom subfactions, I think the indirect is good but probably manageable.
Yep.
But I think if you build like Harlequins with an indirect like patrol or a spearhead, then it's gonna get really annoying.
Yeah. Yep.
Because like what I was like honestly looking at was, what if I just take like a spearhead of Jane Czar,
Yep.
a jet lock to cast Jinx,
Yep.
and then Harlequins. Because Jinx is -1 to saves. It's not -1 to saves for Craft World.
Yep.
So whatever you get is going to get hit essentially by -3 from the indirect.
Yeah.
Which is now, taking Custodians in cover and still really hurting them. Or that -1 save is going to apply every time a Harlequin hits you. And that's going to be
That's
good.
going to be.
And then
because they're
Jane Czar
82 now.
Jane Czar is very self-sufficient. She's an opposite character that's hard to kill, that advances in charge so she can kind of keep up with Harlequins, gives out a -1 attack in a fight last aura.
Yeah. It's solid.
And then you can stack that with the Harlequin -1 attack aura, and it's like, oh, this is like actually really a pain in the butt.
Space Marines get like 1 attack, which I mean it's still enough, but
Yeah, I agree. The Drukari, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Craft World Indirect, I just think it's just a little too efficient. If you build for it to be too efficient, I think it's going to be too easy to do that.
I think so.
Because you can still take the reroll hit and reroll wound, which is insane to me. No other codex has kept that. Everyone else, they've been like, yeah, it's not going to count.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is, because so many of these missions now, you have to be out in the middle to be getting things. I think we're not going to be seeing 3 Night Spinners and 9 weapons
I don't think you go the
platforms,
full.
But we're still going to see it's going to be like 1 unit of Hive Guard. We'll have a couple of Night Spinners, which, granted, it's still a couple of Night Spinners.
Yeah, I was honestly thinking, like, can I build a Harlequin? Or I'm sorry, can I build like an Eldar detachment where I've got like 2 Night Spinners, 1 unit of 1 battery, and like call that like good for indirect? Like that's still plenty.
Yeah.
And if they've got some rerolls baked in, I can fit a lot of Harlequins in with that.
Well, and what I think the good thing with the new subfaction limits is you can't run a spearhead of
that with my Beeltan aspect warriors.
Exactly.
That is probably for the best as well.
I think that really, because when they said that, I was like, oh, why would they do that? And then we started seeing the leaks for Eldar. I'm like, oh, that's why they did that.
That's why they did that.
That's why they did that. Because I would totally do that.
Yeah, exactly.
If we had that option.
Plague Burst Crawlers and full payload Manticores are seen often, but are not like, they're not like brutal.
Yeah.
And yeah, Marine Whirlwinds just kind of suck. I'm with you on that.
We don't talk about those here.
We don't use those, especially not in Blood Angels list. Unless Jack is here, then we talk about it. Jack hates that. All right, I think I'm just gonna paint the rifles on the Rangers black while I'm thinking of what else to do. But just getting another color down on the Rangers is not going to hurt.
No.
6. Okay. So from a base read through, I've seen so far, the book seemed okay. What do you see that team makes it good? To me, it's Harlequins. Harlequins look like the best part. They have so many tricks that I think are going to stack really well with each other. They also they have a couple of data sheets that I think are quite efficient. I think the Harlequin troop data sheet is very good. And then their vehicles. 13 points.
13 points.
Real good. How much is a witch right now?
12, I believe.
Get out of here. Are you kidding me? That's so much better than a witch. It's insane.
Oh, yeah. Always have 4-up, more attacks, better weapons.
You have to pay for them.
But still, I mean.
Yeah, but still, they're weapons. Although even the Harlequin blades are really, like, genuinely not bad. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run, like, 5-mans with one of each weapon type, and then 2 Harlequin blades.
Yep.
So I'm not spending as many points on like a full squad because the Harlequin Blade is +1 attack and still has AP 1, even if it's only strength 3. So it's not like the guys who carry it are dead weight.
No.
They're a bunch of attacks. I think a Harlequin troop is like 4 attacks each.
Yep. Yeah, it adds up.
It's really going to add up, yeah.
I think all of my lists are going to start with a Harlequin patrol of black Harlequins.
Yeah, the dark ones. Yeah,
The dark ones.
That's another thing. All 3 of the Harlequin subfactions are legitimately good.
Oh, yes.
All 3 of them. Like, I think, like, they're all 3 so good. I think light and dark are my 2 favorites. Twilight, I think, loses out to me, but it's light. Like, Twilight's
It's
still good. Twilight's +1 attack.
Yeah.
Like, and that I think is the worst of the 3. If that's your worst, you are in a great spot.
Yeah.
I can still see it. They've got a great relic. The sword, the relic sword is really nice.
I like the idea of the running 2 or 3 units of dark
Troops that fight us.
And that's
and
it.
And with +1 AP as well.
And then an HQ, and then you just run them into something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Or you have Jane Czar running around with them or something else, and it's like, cool. All right, I'm gonna swing with this other thing first. You gonna kill the Harlequins there? Cool. All right, they're gonna fight now.
Yeah. And you know what else I love is Harlequins can once to be going to strategic reserves. They're a great unit to put into the Webway. And with their go back and reserves tricks, they can come in from the Webway turn 4 and 5 as well. So the Webway Gate, you can constantly be funneling OBSEC on the center objective. That's like going to be powerful.
You just thought you got rid of all the Harlequins.
So yeah, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. I wonder what color I should paint like this random wire. There's like a random wire that connects the Ranger rifle to the backpack. Like just,
oh yeah. I think do that black.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it dark for sure. I don't want that to be like a bright red. It's not an energy weapon.
Yeah.
I wonder what that even is.
You could do yellow hazard stripes around it.
I feel like that's not Eldar.
It's not.
I like hazard stripes, and I've done that on some weapons, even though it's painstaking. But I feel like Eldar's not the army to do that on.
No.
Like Eldar is like, we don't need caution stripes. We already know it's dangerous. Thank you. It's like, all right, fair. All right,
we're not children.
This Ranger is like 1,000 years old, casually. Yeah, I think Harlequins are going to be a highlight for sure, in my opinion. Like I'm thinking I'm going to start by playtesting Harlequins in my Eldar adventures, which is unfortunate because I'm painting the Eldar and Nick painted the Harlequins, so maybe I'll go do some touch up, but that's okay. Nick did a pretty good job on it, so I'm not. It'll be all right if I have to use the Nick painted models. I'm just sad that I'm putting so much work on these Eldar. I'm gonna definitely do some string games with like aspect heavy just to try it out because I think the models are so cool.
I should make him fix all of mine.
No, you know you shouldn't. It'll just take you longer to fix them after.
That's fair.
Hey,
fix them for a 3rd time.
Haha. Nick is out there having fun with the puppies.
Rough life.
Indeed, he's having a good weekend. And he gets to watch Return of the King today. Wow, this is gonna be the best day of Nick's life.
Man, I'm jealous of Nick right now.
I know, right? This is a good day to be Nick Nodvati. Do. Alright. Yeah. Bealtan having black weapons does make my life really easy. Because like some of them have like the bone colored. Mm-hmm. Like I think this is literally going to be just one coat of black and we're calling it good.
Yep.
Speed pay
I
play.
like the it was Darren Latham, one of the guys that designed a lot of the Eldar stuff, did a black Ulthway with bone weapons, and I fell in love with that when I first discovered Eldar.
I think that there's some pictures of that in the Eldar Codex.
Probably.
I think, yeah, because
if you see well painted,
there's some very well painted Ulthway in there.
Ulthway in there, that's probably his. Which is why I'm taking all the time to do all my weapons bone.
Yeah.
So I also kind of hate him for it. But
I did like that. The reason we decided against it was we decided Bealtan was going to pop better because we don't have any green armies.
That's fair. And
so we're like, all right, like let's get a green army in here to really stand out.
Yep.
Never understand why the Emperor's Angels of Death need a paint job that tells them this is the stabby end of hazard stripes. You know, it's just I like it because it makes me think of like the Imperium as like a war of industry, which I think makes more sense on Guard and Admech than on and I guess Knights to an extent than on Space Marines, but I also like thinking of Marines in more of the Horus Heresy sense than the chapter sense. I agree, Space Marine chapters, it doesn't make sense. Legions, it does, though, because, again, it's like an industry of warfare.
Yep.
Like the mass-produced, Legion warriors, like, which are still so good. Yeah. Do you think it's a miss on GW's side that Jane Czar cannot be taken in a Inari detachment? She literally joined them officially in the lore. Fates to Dreamer, I'm not even going to lie to you. So Jack and I were reading through the book. And we're just reading through the book, like, first take. Like, we just get this thing on, like, Tuesday, and we're just reading through it. And Jack's reading the Inari rules, and he's like, yeah, they can't... So Phoenix Lords can't join, like, unless they have the Inari keyword, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, so Jane Czar. And he's like, oh, is Jane Czar Inari? I'm like, yeah, Jane Czar has the Inari keyword. And no. Jack's like, oh, okay. And he's like, I missed that. Let me go check. And she checks, and he's like, she doesn't. I'm like, what? I'm like, Jane Czar literally was killed and brought back by Yvraine. And Jack's like, well, she doesn't have the keyword. I'm like, son of a... That's like, what? Yeah. I agree. Now, big miss from a lore perspective.
But can you imagine her in a Inari detachment, though?
Pretty good.
Like, that might actually make them competitive.
Yeah. But, I mean, also, like, Jane Czar still just likes being craft worlds.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jane Czar, amazing. I wonder if you can do a Inari detachment and, like, a little craft world patrol.
That would be neat.
But if they both replace keyword, then you can't. So I need to go reread how that's worded. If Inari just replaces the keyword craft world, then you can't make both selections. Yeah. That would be unfortunate. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Yep. All right, that'll be good on the black. The black is also really nice here. Although GW's black contrast is also good.
I did like that one. I've used that a couple of times.
But I think speed paint still holds up as well. So no complaints either way. But I think I've noticed the difference more on like the bright colors. Mm-hmm. Where I think Army Painter does the bright colors a lot better. That has been like the most significant thing that I've noticed.
Gotcha. And that is good because bright colors are the hardest.
Bright colors are the hardest. So if the hardest part is where this is the best, so be it. I will accept that. That is worth my money.
Yeah, I will definitely be buying a box of these.
Yeah. You can take her in an Ox alone. Ugh. You are correct. You could take Jane Czar in an Ox alone. That is
one way to do it.
That feels like heartbreakingly like a waste, but might honestly be worth it. I don't know. So like I really thought Jane Czar was like stand out the best Phoenix Lord. And I'm like talking her up. I'm like, oh, man, Jack, like Jane Czar is amazing. Like I'm gonna take her on my list. And he read her and he's like, she's fine. I don't really like her. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Jack also doesn't like Shadowkeepers, which is hilarious. He's like, yeah, I don't like that. I'm like, dang it.
Jack's just wrong. It's okay.
It's okay to be wrong. We'll see. I wonder how they're doing at the Cherokee Open. Can I look at points on the I wonder if I can look at points on the computer. Honestly, I'll just look at my phone in a second when I'm done with this. We'll check in on the Art of War team, see how they're doing. It's like noon, so they should be...
Pull it up.
You got it right here?
I can pull it up real quick.
Absolutely. Let us know how the Art of War crew's doing. We've got 3 coaches there. Mark Perry, Anthony Vanella, and Jack Harpster. I think after day 1, Anthony unfortunately was suffering a loss. But can absolutely still finish out in the 2-1 or in the 5-1 bracket to try to make top 8. I think he played against some triple Storm Surges and got on the wrong end of the Storm Surges.
All right, Mark. Mm-hmm. Mark beat Storm Surge, 87-62.
Oh, go Mark! All right, so the triple Storm Surge goes down. Done. Mark Perry avenges Anthony Vanella.
That's a 25 point.
Yeah, that's not like a super close.
That's impressive.
I'm guessing he just like killed the scoring and was able to outlast him.
Yeah.
Really impressive.
Quentin Johnson won.
All right, Jack Harpster.
Scrolling. Jack put up another 100.
Dang. Against Mike Walsh, right?
Yep.
Was the 171?
171.
That's a good win for Jack. Mike Walsh actually won the Battle Brothers GT a week ago with Custodes.
Okay.
It was funny. It was in North Carolina, and I was in North Carolina like on vacation with my parents, and people were like, "Hey, John, you should come to this event." I'm like, "Oh, where is it?" I'm like, "Oh, it's in North Carolina." I'm like, "I'm in North Carolina, and I don't have an army." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm on vacation with my girlfriend. I'm not gonna do this."
Darn.
Like if you like asked me a couple weeks ago, I might have thought about it, but then
yeah,
that's not worth it. I didn't have an army with me, and they're like, "Oh, you can borrow an army." I'm like, "Yeah, if it's not my army, I don't want to do this." Okay, so Art of War, Vanilla.
Vanilla has not submitted yet.
Vanilla, get your stuff together.
Come on,
Anthony.
You got 30 minutes left. Come on.
Oh, okay, that's plenty of time.
Yeah, they still got time. And
You said Quentin won, right?
Quentin won.
Quentin Johnson, who will be in the Streamhouse RTT. Yep. He's not an Art of War, but a friend of Art of War. And,
Art of War adjacent.
He's Art of War adjacent. And, of course, will be joining us for that RTT. That'll be really fun. He's actually going to be my round 1 opponent.
Nice.
So I'm going to have to face his Drukari good stuff.
Oh, yeah, he beat Knights.
Oh, yeah, poor Knight player.
Yep. Yeah, so currently we got... Still waiting for some scores to come in, but currently right now is Jack Harpster, number 1. Joseph Clark, number 2. Quentin Johnson, number 3. Mark Perry, number 4.
All right.
Anthony Birdsong, number 5.
All right. I think Anthony's been kicking it with Custodies as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that continues, but so far there's a lot of Tau up there. Lots of Tau. But maybe if Mark is able to overcome the Tau, maybe, just maybe, he's going to find a way through this.
Yep.
That'd be good. You know what? If, I'm rooting for all the Art of War coaches, but I'm not going to lie, it would warm my heart to see Orks, who are perhaps a little underrated consistently. It would be fun to see Mark get a nice major win with them.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Mark's been working hard on the Goth Rush, and if you were to pull it off through the Tau and Custodians meta that we have right now, I think it'd be very impressive.
Also, we'd never hear the end of it, but...
You would never hear the end of it.
I would never hear the end of it.
It's great. He never responds by Facebook messages, so I'd be okay.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't respond to mine half the time. He just shows up.
Just shows up. That's pretty Mark.
Hey, we're doing dinner at 6. Mm-hmm. Are you coming? Are you coming?
Radio silence. Mark shows up
at 6.
It's like, well, we didn't make the extra 3 servings.
And now we're scrambling to find food.
That's very Mark. I'm genuinely impressed that the Killicans overcame the triple storm surge.
Yeah.
That 87-65 to me, because I feel like if he swamped the Lions, the Tau player wouldn't have gotten 65 points.
62.
62. That to me feels like Mark took like 1 or 2 turns of violence, killed all the Fire Warriors and the Devilfish, and then got like mostly tabled, and he had a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of little things on objectives that are out of line of sight.
Yeah.
And then one player was scoring primary and one wasn't.
Yep.
And then the Storm Surge just tried to trundle and catch him.
That sounds about right.
That's what I'm predicting here.
Yep.
Hashtag 2 wounds for boys. You know what? Maybe when we get the Orc Codex, the next Orc Codex, before the Chaos Space Marine Codex, 2 wound boys. Put it in.
I'd be okay with
They
that.
deserve it more than those traitors.
I mean, Exarch's got an extra wound before Chaos Space Marines did.
Exarch's got a 3rd wound before Chaos Space Marines got their 2nd. Like, woof. Poink, poink. Yeah, because Exarchs were always 2 wounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? Someone else got a 2nd wound. Oh yeah, Harlequin troops. Harlequins, they have a main player now.
Okay.
And it's weird because I was like they didn't used to have a character upgrade. And I was reading it, and it's like, or not like a sergeant type upgrade.
Yeah.
And they had a sergeant upgrade. I'm like, oh cool, like there's another name. Like, is he just +1 attack and he had the same number of attacks? I'm like, oh, that's weird. I guess he's just a leadership of, and then like he has the same leadership. I'm like, why is he here? And I like started reading like the war gear options. If there's something that only he could take, I'm like, I don't get it. And then I saw the 2nd wound. I'm like, oh, look at you.
Poor Chaos. But also,
I don't feel bad for them. I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry, Chaos players. One day, and like as soon as it happens, the bandwagon's gonna happen, and all the loyal players are gonna be like, I waited this like for so long, and I'm gonna be like, I don't know, I had 2 wound Marines the whole time. I'm just playing a different 2 wound Marine now.
Back in my day.
Blink, blink, blink.
It's been 87 years.
Yeah. So these the Rangers have like little hanging like crystals. I think I'm actually gonna paint them bright blue so they show up. I think that'd be cool. Like they've all got like a little crystal.
Oh, little ones there. Yeah.
Yeah, like dangling. And apparently there's like a whole rule for this where if like your Rangers can see something, you can spend a CP and pick an indirect battery and it rerolls hits against the target. I'm like, ooh, okay. So I'm thinking 1 unit of 3 spinners. I like the 1 unit of 3 of the indirect batteries.
Yeah.
And like just a couple range units just to like pick one thing and be like, yep, that one.
That one in particular is dead.
Francis Frost tuning in. He's done that before when we made him food. That's so Mark. Yeah. But you know what? It wouldn't be Mark if it wasn't Mark, and we love him for it.
Exactly.
All right. Getting some good, speedy progress here.
I'm almost halfway done with one guy.
Oh, you're doing great. Just don't let anyone say otherwise. You're doing great, Frosty.
This is speed paint for me.
So getting the work done, talking Eldar would be better.
This is a great day.
You're just happy you got this new book.
I am extremely happy.
I think Eldar players are going to enjoy the new book.
I think so.
Like I've seen a little bit of negativity in the reviews, and I'm assuming that this is like Custodes, where the entire community hated it when it came out, and then like a week later they were like, okay, all right,
It's
fine,
actually
you're right.
good.
Like okay, fine.
I'm wondering if part of it is they were expecting it to be 7th level busted, and it's not.
I mean, with 7th edition, they also. Oh no, 7th edition was just broken. Never mind.
Yeah. That's why I said 7th.
8th edition, when it came out, people complained it wasn't good enough, and I was
Yeah.
like, you guys are great, and then it ended up being really good.
Yeah.
7th edition, I think, literally on release, when it's like, I'm like, what's a D weapon?
Oh.
And Eldar players like, your model's dead now. I'm like, what about my save? Nope. I'm actually hoping that Guard Sentinels get lower toughness but get cheaper. I would love for Guard Sentinels to be like really cheap.
That would
just
be fantastic.
really just cheap. And I hope they get some like cool like scouter rules, like buffing rules. Like they should honestly function like a Dark Angel land speeder where they can give pluses to hit to nearby things, like spotting. I don't know. I like Sentinels a lot aesthetically and just from the perspective of Guard.
Mm-hmm.
They're very iconic Guard for me.
Oh, I love them.
And I've got 3 of them new on Spur that just never got built. I bought them back like when a Castellan was good, and I didn't have a Castellan, but like back when the Guard Brigade was a thing, I was like, yeah, let me just snag 3 of them so that I've got some little options. But I never built them, and that's a darn shame.
And now they just go away if you look at them sideways.
They are cheap though; they're like 35 points.
Is that what they are now?
They're not expensive, but they don't do anything. And like then you look at a Killer Cannon, which is also 35 points and is tougher and like has some amount of weaponry. It's like 35 points with like a multi-laser, and I'm like, okay, not really excited about the multi-laser. Like it's fine, but like, come on, let's get some multi-laser.
What do you think of the Warwalkers now?
I was actually really wondering if they were going to get core.
Mm-hmm.
They did not. Spoiler alert.
Yep.
Which I think is fine. I think that they're like 5 points too expensive. I think.
Yeah.
And also, I need to double check. I'm not sure if they have battle focus.
Yeah.
If they have battle focus, I could see them being interesting. I actually don't remember whether or not they do. Though I won with Valor's Heart against Tau, I'm still trying to figure out the scoring part. I think 2x6 Seraphim and 2x5 Battle Sisters starting off the board with 2x20 Battle Sisters on it. Man, you have the big Battle Sister units on the board and you're beating Tau? That is impressive. I would be terrified of the Airburst diagnosing me with death.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just
like
bye.
Like, oh, you ignore AP 1 and 2, 60 saves, please. Like,
start rolling.
That would be excruciating. Yeah, so I'm going to... I don't know. I don't know with Sisters. I myself have put in a Seraphim squad to kind of try to help with the secondary thing, because I agree that is something that needs to be solved. I haven't entirely figured out how I want to do it. That third secondary with Sisters without putting a psychic character in, because I abhor witches, is a little tricky. But I haven't really decided what that's going to look like. My current Sisters list, I think RND is going to be that choice, and I'm going to look at outflanking or just Rhino scouting up some like 5 girl sister squads to run around and do the actions for me, and then I've got a couple of jump pack units to go do the deep strike. Like I do have the Hand Flamer Seraphim that's probably just going to be an action unit in most cases. But then I paid 20 points for the 4 Hand Flamers because I figure Eldar is coming out, Dark Eldar is still around, Gene's Third exists. When it comes up, the Hand Flamers are going to do good work.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of just T3 bodies with semi-okay saves.
Also, Harlequins, the new craft world are included in this tournament, and I was looking at Harlequins where it's like -1 to hit, you can't reroll hits, you only hit on 4s, and I'm like, I might want a Hand Flamer for this.
Flamer.
Like I might want a Flamer for this.
Yep.
All right. Real quick, I'm going to get an opinion from you, Chris.
Okay.
This was the camo cloak where I connected with light gray. I can barely tell that it's there, but do you think it made an appreciable difference?
Yeah.
Versus, not him. Who was him? This guy?
Yeah.
This was the one without the light gray connecting.
Yeah. Yeah, 50-50. You can take it or leave it.
Yeah, didn't make a huge difference.
Yeah. It saves you a step and makes it faster.
I mean, I'm all about the speed paint.
Yep.
True, I like the flamers. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
The flamers on the Seraphim, they were definitely out of the meta for a little bit with Crusher, Stampede, and Custodes and Thick City running around. I think that if Craft World come in and are popular, Harlequins come in and are popular, I think Hand Flamers and Heavy Flamers are both coming back in for me.
Yes.
Actually, this is kind of unfortunate. I actually really want to change my Sisters list, and I'm ready to. The problem is that from a hobby perspective,
So much work.
It's a lot of work because I have to do this Eldar army, and if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably do more. And I have to build a castigator by Friday and paint it. Yeah, in addition to the 3,000 point Eldar army.
Well, these will be done tomorrow, though.
These will be done tomorrow. But
So
then,
that
like,
gives you,
on
5 days.
Yeah, but like in those 4 days where I also am working my normal job, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do more than build and paint a tank. Like, that's already kind of like more than I wanted. Yeah. So I think that's about all I'm doing.
That's fair. I can understand that.
Unfortunately. All right, let's mix in a little bit of the brown. And we're going to just mix up a little bit more onto the camo cloaks of all these rangers, and then that can be the next step. Oh, no, hold on. Before I do that, I have to take that paint off. I forgot that I have the Shroud Runner pilots as well. I need to paint their guns.
Yep.
Forgot about that. Shroud Runners are so stealthy, I almost forgot to paint them. Almost. Can't get away from me that fast. Where did I...
They are pretty fast.
They are really fast. They also have a scout move, which is like, what? They're like
I'm excited
they're
about
like
that.
Luda speed.
Yeah.
I have 2 Retributors with 2 Heavy Flamer, 2 multi-melt each. Fate Stay Dreamer, that was my my loadout when I was running Ebon Chalice, and I really liked it. With Pure Bloody Rose, I've been very unimpressed with my multi-melts. So I'm trying to figure out how to go to 0 Retributors. Honestly, I'm thinking about being a mad lad who takes Paragon Warsuits. Right? I know. Like, I can like hear Frost being like, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's complete and utter madness. I get it.
But they look cool.
They do look really cool. But I was thinking about it. So like, the Retributor squad I have is 150.
Mm-hmm. And
then a Paragon Warsuit unit is it's 210.
Yep.
With the I think it's 210 with the multi-meltas.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's 240 with the multi-meltas. So like it's 90 points different.
Yep.
But the Paragons they don't take a heavy penalty.
Which
and
is
it's
a big
6
boost.
shots versus 8, but they hit on 3 0-rolling ones, and they get a 1 CP strat for +1 to hit.
That is true.
So they can very easily, for 1 CP, be 6 meltas that hit on 2 0-rolling ones versus 10 that hit on 4 0-rolling ones. It's a lot more reliable, and it is more expensive, 90 points. You get a much more durable unit that is a combat threat.
It's not.
So I was thinking...
It doesn't just go away.
Doesn't just go away. So I was thinking that if I cut the 1 Retributor squad and 5 Repentia, because I have a 5 girl squad, that's 70 and 150. That's like
220.
That's 220 and it's a 240 point unit.
Yeah.
I'm like, at that point, I'm like, Paragon, it does feel better than that. Those 10 girls.
Are you still running Vol or?
I don't know Vol or Celestine in this list. So are you aware of the Bloody Rose supplement?
I am. I actually listened to the
how bad they messed it up
podcast on it.
Yeah. Until they FAQ that, I'm not taking any Sanctified in my Bloody Rose detachment because I can't.
Sad.
And I'm really going to reconsider Vol and Celestine once that is an option. You can take Vol in a Supreme Command. The problem was that when you take Vol, you don't want any of the like Canoness or Palatine. And then because she's not in the detachment, you have to fill all the HQ slots without her. And that's where it gets actually really annoying, is like, how do I take Vol and then fill my HQ slots with characters that aren't just like useless and wasting points?
Yeah.
It's hard to find the points for Vol and a Canoness and a Paladin.
That's fair.
So that was the tricky part, and that's why I decided not to run any of the Sanctified characters. It also is a very different playstyle for me, and it is at least fun to try out new things, I think.
That's fair.
Set up for Holy Trinity? Yeah, they are. For Guard, would you rather a new 2-seat Sentinel or a Motorcycle Cav? Motorcycle Cav, 100%. I don't want Motorcycle Cav. I want Rough Riders. I want them on horses.
Yes.
Like, I get it. Motorcycles are dope. And you know what? I'm tempted to do, like, Adeline conversions. But, like, honestly, make a horse model and then let people do the Adeline conversions.
Yep.
Like, and, like, if they want to do that's a cool, easy conversion that would probably look good. But I want cavalry. I want horses. Like, this is Guard. This is not supposed to make sense. This is old-fashioned warfare in the 41st millennium. Like, Guard already makes literally no sense. So, like, screw it. Like, lean into it.
This is World War I going into
with lasers.
German tanks.
Yeah. Paragons for the win. I've been running them in a Valorous Heart with great success. Only 1 Retributor squad, but at least I can make them ignore heavy penalty return. Yeah, Valorous Heart, the 1 Retributor squad does make some sense. With Vol, Retributors are super easy to justify because you get those sweet rerolls. But it's a little harder. It's a little bit harder to justify when you don't have that. When you don't have Vol. And again, no Sanctified. Also, worth pointing out, Paragons do have an amazing strat in Bloody Rose. which is just freaking hilarious. So it's 1 CP when your paragons target a unit with 6 or more models in combat. Every 4 plus to hit is 2 hits.
Yep.
Like, whoa.
Okay.
Like you go, and then of course every 6 to hit is an additional hit because you're sisters.
Yeah.
So you get an explosion of violence when you find a 6-person squad.
Yeah, I like it.
And I've seen a lot of 6 to 10 man units running around right now. I'm just like imagining like a Paragon squad charging 20 Hellions, just being like 1 Paragon into each Hellion squad, dead.
Yep.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that'll do work.
To do so much work. So I don't think I'm gonna have the time to get the Paragons done. Unfortunately, so I'm probably gonna play the list without them, but I'm really tempted to make it happen. Doodle-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, there's the armor done.
Nice.
On 1.
On 1. Can I see?
Yeah.
Very nice. That is really good looking.
Yeah. So I'm going for a bit of a dirty bone.
I can see that.
I want them to be aged, like this is their decline.
Yeah. Like you're really emphasizing the ancient nature of Eldar.
Yep.
I like that.
They've seen some stuff.
Yeah, I think like some weathered wraithbone on like the bases and on the display board would also look really good for
Oh
you.
yeah. Yep. And it only takes, what time is it right now?
It's 12:15.
12:15. So, that's only like 2 hours
Yeah.
per.
Speaking of 12:15, depending on where you're at, I think I'm actually going to break soon.
Okay.
Because not only do I want my lunch, but
Yep.
also I want to do a little bit of airbrushing before I get back to the table.
Gotcha.
So, and I might need some Frosty help with the
Okay.
airbrushing.
I am good with whenever we want to take a break.
All right. In that case, I think I'm going to just finish the black on this one ranger here.
Okay.
And so in about 1 minute, I'm going to be at the breaking point. So people, if you are hanging out with me, 1, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for keeping me company. 2, I'm going to be back at 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. I'm going to turn on the paint stream again. But I want to, 1, do some airbrushing, 2, eat lunch.
Lunch is
because lunch is very important. I'm a hungry boy. And then we're going to be right back here painting Eldar, talking Eldar. But airbrushing I cannot do on the stream, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit. All right, I think on that black I'm going to call that good.
All right.
They don't need any black. They don't have any weapons. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna set up the event right now, but come on back at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be right back here talking Eldar, ready to rumble, and of course talking about painting this whole army.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I'll send you away with the commercial for the War Room. If you're a fan of the Art of War content and you're not in the War Room, you are not even getting half of the goodness that we have here.
It is fantastic. Absolutely.
The War Room is where we put together all of our high-level content and get you access to the Art of War Discord. So come join us. We're a fun international community of like-minded 40k players that are constantly looking to improve at the game that we all love. Come check us out. You can find us on our website, theartofwar40k.com, or you can be a War Room member on this very channel on YouTube. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
There's so many rules in 40k, hundreds of events, and constant updates. Skip the learning curve of Warhammer and join the pros. Art of War is led by multiple world champions with decades of success. We teach clinics, stream games, and inspire you to succeed at your favorite hobby. Join our global community of gamers just like you.